Welcome to the Postmodern Art Podcast, the podcast dedicated to giving artists who are wandering the world over the platform they deserve. I am your host, Nathan Ragland, and for today's episode, I think I've found ourselves the perfect blend of a fun conversation with talented artists and a little bit of humor sprinkled in there to provide you a fun, fantastic concept that you guys need to be paying attention to today. Today's guests are Kairi Sneed, Dee Mercury and GrandmasterFDC, the blended family of artists at Neptoon Comics, bringing to life the antics of a blended family in a fun, wholesome slice of life comic of its own, Colorblind. I was made aware of this by someone else who is a part of Neptoon Comics that isn't in this conversation. Shout out to Why Not Toonish for even making me aware of these guys in the first place. Sincerely getting the chance to sit down and chat with them. These guys were so fun to chat with. You could really tell that the synergy between them is absolutely top notch. And it's just absolutely fun to get their insights on the creativity that's being put forth in this fun little webcomic that you guys really need to be paying attention to right now. If you enjoy our guests, please make sure you support them with the links down in the description below. If you enjoy the podcast, make sure you like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. Leave 5 stars wherever you can. You know I see that stuff. You know it genuinely does make my day. If you want to go a little further with that support, may I recommend you check out our merch shop at fourthwall.com. We have some outstanding designs done by some amazing artists, including the wonderful Roshan Galaxy with the fantastic logo design, which you can get in different Pride colorways even after Pride Month is done and over with. In fact, during Pride Month, June 2026, on top of half the proceeds for the Pride merch already going to Trans Lifeline or Lambda Literary, for every 10 Pride shirts that we sell, I will personally donate an additional $100 to both charities. So, if you want to spread a little bit of that positivity, get the word out there about the podcast, but also showcase your true self at the end of the day, go ahead and check out the merch shop at thefourthwall.com. Like I said, the link is in the description below. But now, without further ado, please enjoy the Postmodern Art Podcast. Thank you guys for taking the time to be here and doing this. I really do appreciate you all, especially on the random whim of why not being like, hey, let's do this or whatnot. I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here.
Thank you for having us, man.
Absolutely.
And it's completely free. I was born a witness, bro.
I'm
sorry,
are we hearing some kind of Mexican soap opera?
I was gonna say, what's up, Kairi?
My beach book, the guy's book. I grew up in it.
Must be a roommate or something.
Sorry, guys. I just had some Jehovah's Witnesses come to my door.
Oh, lovely.
They're still around?
They're still around.
Surprisingly.
They didn't know that I grew up in that religion, and I'm like, hey, not interested.
Oh, that's an interesting little tidbit right off the bat.
Oh yeah, the creator of Neptoon Comics and founder is an ex-Jehovah's Witness born in 23 years. Never got baptized. Realized it was not for me and left.
I mean,
I wanted him to use some jokes based on his experiences, but
yeah, I think in at least one comic I put this, the one where Addison and Dorcas were trying to make love, but the kids kept interrupting them.
Oh, yep.
It's like there's a knock on the door. He gets this notification that someone's at the door, and Addison's like, it's probably just those damn Jehovah's Witnesses.
But no, it was their daughter freaking off.
Yep. It was Lily sneaking out, but Dorcas is like, use the hose this time.
Use the hose this time.
I use the hose on everyone who tries to knock on my door.
Like, no, for real. Like, seriously. I can't wait to become a homeowner so I can just, like, you got some nerve coming up to my door.
Right?
I hate people. I don't care who they are. I hate old people.
Honestly,
the only people who can come to my door, Girl Scouts.
Girl Scouts.
Only because they got some.
They have guns.
Oh, there you go.
Invader Zim reference.
Yep.
What's scarier? A little girl with a gun or a grown man with a gun?
Oh, I thought they have ninja stars in Invader Sim.
Oh yeah, they do. They have ninja star cookies. That show was really, really weird.
And that girl just did screaming holy rage thing.
All right, Neptoon Comics. Before we really do get going, I must ask the icebreaker question of the podcast, if I may. Let's say you all get to go to a deserted island on your own accords. It's just you alone with your thoughts. You get to kick back, relax, breathe, get to really enjoy yourselves for a little bit. With accommodations, I shouldn't say deserted island, more like a personal B&B paradise away from society for a little bit. And you each have your own. It's not like a group thing. To make sure you all don't go completely insane on this island, you could bring one piece of media or one piece of art with you to help with whatever kind of headspace you want on this island. If given this opportunity, what will that one piece be? And go in however order you want to answer this question.
I would bring my iPad.
You bring your iPad? Okay. Any particular reason why that's the first thing that comes to mind?
So then I could fulfill my dream of being on a desert island with just my art, my clip studio, my Apple Pen, and no distractions.
That's beautiful. It's so beautiful. All right, so we got Kairi with the iPad. Dee, FDC, what are you guys thinking?
There is electricity on the island, right?
Obviously, like I said, there's accommodations and everything. Like it's like a personal like relaxation spot, but like there's no media or anything other than the one thing you're bringing.
I would say my sketchbook, my real old-fashioned sketchbook and pencils, but that runs out in time. So I would say my iPad and Apple Pencil, because I do have animation software on it, such as InkSquid and Rough Animator, so I can still do what I love to do, animating and drawing.
That sounds absolutely fantastic more than anything else.
See, that's the reason that Forrest and I became best friends instantly when we met, because, you know, we love the same things.
There you go. Great minds think alike, I guess.
Very much so.
Of course, great minds also sometimes want to slap each other, but, you know, that's life.
Yeah. Look, if your bro doesn't slap you, is it really your bro?
Look, I said they think alike. Like, I didn't say they were the same exact mind, all right? There's going to be some differences.
Fair enough.
All right. And Dee, what about you? What's the one thing you're bringing on this island?
I would say I'd bring my drawing tablet, but I'd have to bring my laptop too, because I use a big-ass XP pen.
Okay.
So,
Same
and
here.
I draw... Oh, really? I draw every single day of my life, so in all honesty, probably I'm going to bring the Stormlight Archives Book 1, The Way of Kings, because it's 1,000 pages long, and I'll have the perfect opportunity to read it.
There you go. There you go. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. What exactly is the Stormlight Archives?
Yeah, it's a Brandon Sanderson novel. He has this series called The Stormlight Archives, which is about a hero. Sorry, it's about a man named Kaladin and his journeys in this world that's like has its own magic system. It's really good. My best friend, well, one of my best friends is really into it, and she's slowly been trying to drag me into it, but I don't have a lot of time to read. So she's been kind of drip feeding me the story through her drawings, and it's really interesting. My favorite character is Shallan because she's a lot like me.
Okay. No, honestly, respect more than anything else. I mean, it sounds like just an insane epic more than anything else. So even getting the opportunity to finally divulge in that's a good use of your time at the end of the day.
You know, that's a good one. I was thinking my Bone collection by
Jeff Smith.
What? Sorry?
Yeah, by Jeff Smith, Bone.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I loved that book back in like 20 years ago. That was my favorite book series. That's what got me into comics.
That's valid. That's valid. No, I was gonna say
graphic novels.
No, absolutely. I was gonna say, yeah, because I'm glad, Kairi, you asked that, because FDC, otherwise the context, I bring my Bone collection. So this is my skull from William Henry Harrison. This is the femur.
Oh, yeah. Yes. In my downtime, I'm a serial killer.
But regardless, with the answers of either the iPads or the Stormlight Archives, those are your guys' answers. You're locking that in.
Yes.
Yes.
Then if that's the case, I cannot think of a better way to start the Postmodern Art Podcast. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Nathan Ragland. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or follow whatever audio streaming platform you prefer. You will look fantastic in the merch we have at the merch shop, fourthwall.com. Link to that is in the description below. And follow us on Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, and most social media platforms at Postmodern Art Pod for future updates and guest announcements, including today's guests. They are the blended family of artists at Neptoon Comics, bringing to life the antics of a blended family of a fun, wholesome slice of life webcomic in Colorblind. Welcome to the podcast, GrandmasterFDC, Dee Mercury, and Kairi Sneed.
Hey,
Thanks
folks.
for having me.
Pleasure to be here.
Hi.
What's up?
Thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here. I hope you all are doing well on this fantastic whatever time of the day is, because we're dealing with at least 3 different time zones with this recording.
International family.
Yes.
Nothing but love.
Intergalactic.
That's
Intergalactic.
There you go. That's why I said blended family more than anything else. But I hope you all are doing well today. Thank you all for taking the time to be here. Like I kind of emphasized before we really got this thing going, it's a really honor and a pleasure to have you guys here, since I was introduced by wonderful part of the Neptoons comics team that couldn't be here because they're busy with other factors. Why not? I appreciate him bringing this to me and really get to delve myself into what you guys have going. I cannot help but instantly fall in love with the comic and what you guys got presented at the end of the day. So it's a real pleasure to even have you guys here to talk about that and then some. So thank you all for being here today.
We're
Thank
honored.
you. Pleasure's
Thank you very
ours.
much. Yeah, we're thanks for having us, man.
Absolutely. But before we talk about the comic and what you guys are doing nowadays, I want to go back just a little bit and learn more or less the origin story of you guys as artists or people that just love art in the first place. What got you interested in art and web comics and animation and stuff in the first place? I'll tell you what, we'll start with the one that, is the creator of the comic that we're going to be talking about today. Kairi, what got you interested in art and, web comics and such in the first place?
Well, as a little kid, when I would watch cartoon shows, I was enamored with a lot of the things that we saw in shows like Codename Kids Next Door, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and My Gym Partner's a Monkey. I grew up in the golden era. Well, not even the golden era. I want to say the platinum era of children's cartoons. The best time to be a kid was the early 2000s because we had the best.
Yeah.
We had Nickelodeon, we had Prime Cartoon Network, we had Prime Toon, Disney, we had all that. And, while we did receive that and watch it casually, it also did inspire a lot of creativity within us. And a lot of us, me included, kind of got to that point where it's like, this is cool, but I want to see this.
Right.
So I always had it within me to I'm going to make the show that I want to see and then give that to the world. And then years later, by this point, I was already a late teenager. I had seen that Quentin Tarantino had a quote that actually, brought language to that thought that I had as a child, that the movies that you love, make the film that you want to see. If you want to be original and you want to be a film writer, screenwriter, whatever, make that movie that doesn't exist. That's your movie. Yeah. And then that's what you put in theaters. That's what you send to those investors, or that's what you, in my case, get with some artists, bring to life, and then post on the internet.
Absolutely. First
and
off,
it was just
go on.
A passion. Just a passion and a desire to create. Creativity was my escape, and I love art. I always liked to draw, and I like to make comics, and I like to tell stories. So, animation and comics, it's just naturally that's where I ended up, the space that I ended up in.
No, that's honestly extremely valuable. First off, I cannot tell you how much I instantly related to you when you were listing off those comics, or not comics, the cartoons that you watch or whatnot, because those were the same cartoons I grew up watching or whatnot. Like you said My Gym Partner's a Monkey. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't heard that name in a hot second. What the heck?
The funny part of that show, the funniest episode, this remains is the funniest joke I've seen one of the funniest jokes I've seen in the cartoon. When Adam thinks that Jake dressed up as a girl to try and join the cheerleading squad. And so they have this dance off at the end, but then it turns out, no, that girl was actually a girl,
right?
A different girl, and that Jake didn't care about cheerleading that much. But Adam obliterated her, and he's like, no hard feelings, hey, Jackie? And she's like, for me? No, but for you. and then she spins around and then throws him like literally into space. It was so funny.
Just
you
literally.
remember that one?
Jackie
I
was
actually remember that one.
Yeah, she's like, and she's like, isn't he coming back? I don't think so, since he just left the Earth's atmosphere. I saw that, I died laughing.
I don't know why, but the episode that always sticks with me more than anything else is the one where like Jake for some reason starts like trying to be funny or whatnot, uses like his butt and like the tail to do like the characters.
What are you looking at?
What are you looking
Okie
at? What are you looking at? Okie dokie.
that show's obsession with monkey butts, though.
No, for real. Like, yeah, that show did have an obsession with butts, man. Like,
it compared to IR Weasel and I Am, or what was it? I Am Weasel and IR Baboon.
Yep.
That was classic.
Well, I'll say cow and chicken as well.
When I was in school, like when My Gym Partner Was a Monkey started airing when I think I was still in middle school, primary school. One of the boys would just go around quoting, "What are you looking at? Okie dokie," and the teachers would get so annoyed. They were like, "Dylan, sit down."
There's always that annoying kid who went around quoting cartoons.
No, absolutely. I was one of those kids. Anyways. But especially to see like the love for the cartoons like that led you to want to have that mentality of like, okay, this is something I would want to see. Well, no one else is making it. I'm going to be the one to do it. I share that mentality because that's the mentality that got this podcast here in the first place. Like, obviously this is way later down the line when I'm an adult or whatnot, but I've always had a love and passion when it comes to art in general and wanting to see people get that love and respect that they have for it. No one else in my eyes was doing it. So I was like, okay, I'll give these guys a spotlight as much as I can to talk about that kind of stuff. So yeah, to see that you have that mentality to create the incredible art that, you know, you got this group here for today more than anything else. It's a good sentiment to have at the end of the day. Let's see some of the other inspirations that got us to this point as well. I'll move on to FDC. What got you interested in art and animation and webcomics and such in the first place?
Oh man, there is so much history there. Let's see if I can bring it down. Like Kairi, 90s and early 2000s was the best part. Nickelodeon, Disney,
Yep,
and Cartoon Network. Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Invader Zim, Kids Next Door, everything. Oh, Timon and Pumbaa, and
I forgot about that.
Including Disney movies, the 2D Disney movies from the past.
right.
They were my major inspiration. And when I learned when I was still in elementary at the time, and when I learned that I could do this for a living, from what they were telling me, I made that my singular goal throughout my life. I started early, wanting to do nothing but draw.
Okay.
And wanting to be an animator.
And he's good at it too.
I can tell, trust me.
And it grew larger when I started watching 80s, 90s, and early 2000s anime as well.
Okay.
Thank you, Toonami. That was also a big inspiration part of my life as well.
Absolutely.
Adult Swim, let's be honest, it corrupted me, but also
it corrupted a lot of generations. Let's be honest with ourselves here.
Yeah, I mean, but the second we got old enough to not have to go to bed, you know, before 8:30, is like, okay, well, time to grow up.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Trigun to Squidbillies.
Oh my god.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. You name it. I saw it. I stayed up past bedtime just to watch it all.
And how can we forget Boondocks?
Oh, how can we forget Boondocks?
We do.
I'll say there's that, and then there's also like the weird obscure comics that you are cartoons that you get like 3 o'clock in the morning, depending on which coast feed you were watching or whatnot, like freaking Xavier Renegade Angel or whatnot.
Oh yes, I remember that. And also, many people don't recognize this one, or they thought it was too weird. But King Star King, It was super messed up, but the drug culture spoke to me. Not going in there.
That's fair enough. I think we've already established. We've established the influence that some of this stuff has on you and what you've got to present today more than anything else.
But for webcomics, the biggest one when it came to webcomics was Phil Foglio's Girl Genius.
Okay.
And there's also Bone from Jeff Smith for graphic novels. And what was it called? Smack Jeeves, when webcomics was at its golden point before that website went down.
Right.
Smack Jeeves had a huge number of webcomics that I just enjoyed. Then someone took over and just died. It was a terrible time. I lost all my favorite comics.
I can imagine.
On the web. Also, DeviantArt when it was still good.
Yep.
Now it's nothing but AI slop. But
yep.
Andrew Dickman, it was a good one. And I know we don't really want to talk about the guy, but I will say this. Kyle Carosa, I'm probably not saying his name right, or TV's Kyle.
Yep.
He was a big inspiration when it came to cartoons and wanted me to draw. And that's about it. I'm not going to protect the dude.
No, I was going
to
say, we're going to talk about the art. And that's all we're going to talk about with Kyle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Wow, words. No, honestly, like that's a really good foundation, especially more than anything else, with kind of the influence of like both traditional media, but especially with like the internet and what that recently brought you or whatnot. I was gonna bring this up as well because you said Smack Jeeves or whatnot. Smack Jeeves or whatnot. Were they associated with Ask Jeeves or whatnot?
No, I know where you were thinking, but Smack Jeeves was. It was like the very first archive of all these different webcomics where you can put it, where people can get found out or learn. Some people even got big just from doing webcomics on there. And
oh wow!
So it was like an indie comic hub.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then some person took it over when the other guy couldn't take over anymore, and he just ran it into the ground.
Dang.
I don't know if it was a company or what. It was horrible. And there's like web archives of Smack G's, but they don't work too well.
That's the bad thing about acquisition. You know, when you sell something that you made to another guy who just sees dollar signs, it typically gets ran into the ground.
Unfortunately, that's the nature of the beast in the business aspect of this stuff. Unfortunately.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But sorry, go on.
Sorry. I kick myself for not copying or saving a lot of the work before it went down. But at that time, I didn't think all this work was going to be lost.
Right. As well as you don't really know what you have until it's gone at the end of the day.
Yep. And it haunts you for the rest of your life, or at least me.
Yep. No, that's unfortunate but fair. I totally get that sentiment more at the end of the day. But on a more positive note, Dee, what got you interested in art and animation and webcomics and such in the first place?
Oh, please strap in. This is a long story.
Let's go.
Hold on, let me get my rotisserie chicken out the microwave.
Sure.
Look, I got my coffee, so I'm good.
I'll say, look, this is a podcast. I encourage long form conversations, so go for it.
All right. My dad is a weeaboo. My dad is an otaku, and he's probably going to watch this video. But my dad loved anime and Batman and Superman, basically all the old DC cartoons, Wonder Woman, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. So I grew up watching those shows with my dad. And when Animax came to South Africa back in the early 2000s, mid-2000s, I watched Nejima, I watched Dot Hack Sign, and all that. I also watched Paranoia Agents. Oh, sorry?
Sorry, I'm just going nostalgia. Dot Hack Sign. That was another good one. Sorry.
I know. I love Dot Hack Sign. Subaru is literally one of my favorite characters ever. Her aesthetic is beautiful. Her personality is so gentle. Genuinely. I wanted to be her when I was a kid. I also watched Paranoia Agent, and you can ask Kairi about this. I kind of sneakily inserted it into a Halloween piece a few years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, people liked it. Yeah, I love anime. I love anime-inspired cartoons, and I also love super old cartoons. Like, anyone who watches me knows that I love Atomic Betty, which is a very forgotten Canadian show that I, for some reason, am trying... Well, when I draw it, I tend to draw it as an anime, because I feel it fits an anime aesthetic. But as for what got me into comics, well, it wasn't a webcomic. It was Mr. Junji Ito.
Okay.
I love horror. I love horror, and I love especially horror that scratches your mind just right, like some indie horror games do. So, when it comes to what inspired me, it was works like The Enigma of Amigata Fault, Tomie, and Uzumaki that inspired me. I wanted to write a series that would make you think. A series that is glossy and pretty on the surface, because I love aesthetically cute things, but the story substance is a lot more dark. It's like cutting into a cake and black ink leaking out, essentially.
Interesting. Interessante, if I may say. I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure if you cut into me, I'm pretty sure black ink would spill out of me, but that's probably because of all the ink that I've consumed over the years. Don't look into that.
Hey, I'm black. I'm black on the inside too, man.
I feel like I'm a very... Sorry?
Sorry, it sounds like the Bendy game series.
Yes. I'm Alice Angel.
No, I was gonna say, like, it's cool to hear like the wealth of different inspirations, both like, you know, very beloved that a lot of people can probably latch onto, like the Ito influence or whatnot, but also like the obscure one with Atomic Betty, which I gotta say, I love how you said, I don't know why, but I draw like an anime. Isn't Atomic Betty technically an isekai? Am I wrong in assuming that?
No,
Oh my God.
she's actually doing the job. She hasn't been like fished off to another dimension. She actually is a cop.
Okay.
She actually is living a miserable life.
Okay.
It's like what was Ben 10, but if he was cute and like a Power Ranger in space kind of thing. That's the best I could put it.
You know, I'm showing my age. We're showing our ages, but I remember when Ben 10 premiered.
No, same.
Cartoon Network, right? CartoonNetwork.com with all its games and flash games that it had online. It was a really big thing back then. And you could actually watch the first 10 minutes of the very first episode online. And I remember being so excited when I saw that show because we had never had any kind of a show like that before.
Right.
It looked cool from the trailer. The trailer got you hyped. So when I saw I could watch the first 10 minutes, I was like, bro, wow. And I remember sneaking in the middle of class, lying to my teacher's face about needing to work on some assignment for a different class. And she said, okay, here, just go use the computer. And that woman came over there and caught me watching. I got in so much trouble, man. She called my grandmother and told her because like the teacher was like just really bewildered that I lied to her face so blatantly. But in my defense, I was 9.
When I was in school, there was actually like a feud between the Atomic Betty girls and the Ben 10 boys.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I would be like, I'm Sparky. I'm just going to sit on the fence and eat chips.
Wait, wasn't there something like that? Sailor Moon girls versus the Dragon Ball boys?
Probably, yeah.
Every generation has its boys and girls.
Yep.
Honestly, I like both shows equally. I love Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon.
Well, I assumed you like Sailor Moon given your icon more than anything else, but I was also going to say, I thought you were also going to say the Ben 10 and Atomic Betty as well, because I've seen some of the art on your Instagram where you've actually had the two interacting with each other like they're helping each other out more than anything else.
Oh, the hands off Gabriella AU. That is a love triangle. That is not them helping each other out. Okay, I was trying a love triangle. It's more like a straight line.
I was trying to be modest, all right? I was going.
Ben is in love with himself. Betty's in love with Ben. Her assistant's in love with her. That's the whole series.
There you go. It's a good headcanon. I'll give you that one.
Oh, I borrowed it from someone.
Well,
I just
obviously.
wanted to
People over
borrow it.
ships.
Yep.
I don't really take ships seriously. They're just fun to draw.
Oh no, absolutely. That should be the mentality when it comes to ships, as compared to how some people really take it to heart. But anyways.
No. Before you move on, some ships do need to be criticized.
No, absolutely.
Because why the hell do people ship Ben and Gwen?
Yeah, no,
we're not talking about those. Those are literally, those do not exist. Those are just something we don't speak of.
Okay.
That's it. It's no to the Shadow Realm with that.
Yeah, those are the ones. The instant that we see it, we intentionally block it out of our minds and push it far away. Do not give it the attention that it deserves. All right.
You do not want to be in the Avatar fan base because it's like, oh my word, madness.
Yeah, I don't even want to begin to imagine.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm starting to think people like I ship Sokka with like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Unless you're shipping Sokka with his boomerang, you are objectively wrong.
Exactly. Or the moon.
I will say this though, back in 2022, I saw this ship between, of all things, Aang and Appa.
And we are not going to talk about that.
We're going to just move right the fuck on. Anyways.
Yeah, come on. Who loves Arizona iced tea?
Yeah. No. Well,
probably Iroh.
That's a good one. No, but like, that's good to hear that, like, it's good to know that the cartoons and the comics and such that really inspired you guys to get to this point more than anything else. Like I can certainly see that love and inspiration more than anything else, especially with the art that you guys put forward at the end of the day. So I'm curious, when did it for you guys go from just something that you love and appreciate and couldn't get enough of to a passion and really wanting to make it your career? Like, when did you guys know for sure, like, I definitely want to be an artist for life? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll talk.
Okay, you go.
Okay.
You talk.
No, go ahead, Des. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Mine is pretty short.
Okay.
I didn't.
Oh.
I was happy with art being a hobby, but then I lost my job in 2020 with the virus. And then Kairi hit me up on DeviantArt.
Oh.
No, I hit you up on Instagram.
No, you hit me up on DeviantArt. On my old account, which I no longer have. No, it was notes on DeviantArt. And then I told you what my Instagram.
Oh. I could have swore that I just randomly encountered you. You left a comment on one of my pages. I went on your page and saw that you drew. And this was around the time that me and Alejandro were falling out. And I told you I need an artist. And you said, I can draw it. No, okay.
No, you just hit me up on DeviantArt out of nowhere. I didn't even know what you did before you hit me up.
Oh, wow.
I hadn't been on this account for like a month.
Well, shoot, I acted at the right time.
Yeah, I just checked on a whim.
Because I remember us being we were in like really constant communication pretty quickly. You know, like I was so used to sending a message to the artist and they not respond for 5 days, but you responded like pretty much instantly, and I was like, oh, thank goodness. It helped a lot. A lot of brownie points.
I don't even know how you found me, because I was like neck deep in the Invader Zim stuff at the time.
Yeah, I remember that, because like throughout our friendship, you had like there's like eras. You were in the Invader Zim, then you were really into Peter Pan, then you were really into
Kids Next Door.
Yeah, Kids Next Door. But before Kids Next Door, you were into, I want to say, The Wizard of Oz, because Golden Arrows.
No. No, Golden Arrows isn't The Wizard of Oz. It's The Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, and essentially that's why I was into Peter Pan, because I was working on Golden Arrows.
Mm-hmm. I still want to see Golden Arrows. The world deserves.
That's a story.
You can go read it right now.
Yeah.
But I want art. You know, I like art. You know, I don't like words on the page. That's what I'm trying to learn. When I want art, I want to be transport myself to somewhere, else,
I hate to interject here, but I'm curious.
I don't like to draw unless I'm being paid.
I hate to interject here, but I'm curious as well. What is Golden Arrows? Because especially with like the influence that you guys just said right there, whatnot, with like the Wizard of Oz, Peter Pan, all that kind of stuff. I don't think I've ever heard of Golden Arrows.
I can tell you what Golden Arrows is in a nutshell. Basically, it's It's a more modern, it's set in 2008, retelling of Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, The Wizard of Oz, and The Nutcracker. It was written by me, and it was edited for grammar and mistakes by Whimsyquill, who was the artist behind the Sacrifice for the Night and Bound to Bereft on Inkit, which are extremely good novels, and I really recommend them both. Bereft is still going, but Sacrifice for the Night is finished. She also has more stories on her page, which I highly recommend. She's a really good writer.
Oh, interesting.
It starts off with Alice. Hatter, who is hanging out at her sister's job, and she's bored. She's 16, so her sister gives her money, kicks her out, and tells her to go do something with her life.
Mm-hmm.
So she leaves, and a goth girl walks out of essentially Hot Topic, and she follows her to a bookstore where she falls through a mirror into essentially the White Kingdom in Wonderland, where the King in White sends her off on some crazy errand to find out what happened to his sister, the Queen of Hearts. Wonderland is split up into two main kingdoms. It's Looking Glass Land, which is the White Kingdom, and then it's Heartland, which is the Red Kingdom. One has chess pieces, one has cards.
Okay.
She ends up in Looking Glass Land, which is like chess pieces and whatnot. The princess in white tries to have her beheaded. Oh, fun fact, her name is Lily.
Oh, lovely.
So,
nice segueing us to talk about the colorblind characters.
yeah.
But go on.
She tries to have her beheaded. Yes, Lily. She tries to have her beheaded. Well, okay, another funny fact is she's named Lily, but she looks like Cheyenne.
Interesting.
She's both of them.
So basically,
two sides of a different coin.
Colorblind did inspire this character.
Well,
maybe subconsciously.
Well, Lily is the official name of the Princess in White from the Alice in Wonderland novels, but her design is loosely inspired by Cheyenne, because I thought it would be funny if, like, a little nod there. But I wouldn't say it was direct until I actually had it in my head, and I was like, oh, she kind of looks like Cheyenne.
Well, there you
I've
go.
had that happen too, where you design a character, you write a joke, or you create something, and then you're just scrolling through the internet one day and you see that thing, and it turns out it existed 40 years prior.
Like, well, dang, my subconscious is smart.
Yeah, it's like, nope, you accidentally plagiarized something that you had no idea even existed, and then you wallow in your self-pity and depression for about a good 3 weeks.
And then you realize no one's going to remember who this character is.
And then you just come back out of that depression because you realize that much and continue to create unforgivingly.
Exactly.
And
you order
I just want to say you order a 3-meat treat from Little Caesars just to, help you feel a little bit better. Because, pizza can be... Daria Morgendorfer once said that there is no asset, no facet or area of life that cannot be improved with pizza.
Absolutely. I say that as I have 2 frozen pizzas in my freezer right now.
Hey, that's my boy right there.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, but
and I'm not saying that because I want one.
I made sure to get at least a good one. One of them is a good Detroit style pizza or whatnot. Like, that's gonna hit the spot. But but anyways, no, I really do love and appreciate that. Like, again, you got all these influences. You have this, like, honestly really unique retelling that you have with Golden Arrow and such. Like, it's one of those, like, if you would like to send me the link, I'll be sure to have it linked in the description below so that people can absolutely go and search it out and go and search for it. They can read it. Like, I definitely want to read it more than anything else. And who knows, maybe if there's enough fan support with it and there's some money behind it, maybe you could make it into a graphic novel or even something animated. Just saying.
Perhaps one day. But at the moment, that's not my current goal. There is a series of mine that I'd like to have. That I'd like to turn into a graphic novel or comic, but it's more conventional, so to speak. It is called... Well, okay, I've had this series since I was a kid. It is called... It's called The Precious Few, or The Guardians, and it's essentially about traditional magical creatures who protect a town. And that's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. Let's keep a little bit of a tease for the people at home.
Yeah, and totally not because I have no idea what it's about anymore.
That too.
I'm telling you. The brain is not a computer.
No, it is not.
But even then,
it's a very slippery muscle.
But to know, going back to the original question that I had, to know that like what started off as, you know, something that you more or less kept as a hobby that became more of a legit thing, especially whenever the times were probably your roughest, and you got this random message from Kairi more than anything else being like, hey, you want to help me out with this, or hey, your art's really cool, whatever the message initially was or whatnot. Like it's really interesting to know, especially seeing the art you have been able to produce and such. Like it's something I definitely want to delve a lot more when we actually talk about the comic itself. But before we talk about the comic itself, I want to hear from either Grandmaster or Kairi. When did you guys know that this thing that you loved, art, when did it go from just something you loved and appreciated to a passion and wanting to make it your career?
Oh, how do I say this? So in school, that's when I learned. That's how I learned I was funny.
Okay.
Then I joined social media. And that's how I learned I was funny and popular on another level to where it could reach people. I could write something and it could diffuse. And these were things that I had done for, you know, making memes. First, I was like, you know, in this political space on Instagram where I was in the anti-feminist community. And before anybody gets their feathers ruffled, I'm talking about that crazy third wave, I hate men, all men are evil, sexist, and blah, 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 rabba feminazi crap. That's what I was against. But I was a comedian at heart. So, you know, I approached that with my sense of humor and made a lot of memes and did a lot of skits. And I grew my following up to about 8,000 on Instagram organically. From there, I just kind of lost interest with the whole political side of Instagram, but I didn't want to just, you know, turn my back on my audience that I built. So I started making regular memes, regular skits, and these grew my following even more. So I was not one of those people who stole other people's stuff. Like, I made my own things. This was around the time Harambe happened. I got my first, I got my first 5,000 likes making this Harambe meme. And so that was like, okay, wow, I really, like, dang, people really find me funny. Me, I wasn't putting a whole lot of effort into it. It was just like, oh yeah, that's funny. I'll post that. I'll make that. Right. And then I would make it and post it. Now, throughout all this, I had always had my love for art and comics and graphic novels. And once I kind of fell out of the meme thing, it was like, hey guys, my career goal, I want to be a showrunner. I want to create series. I want to write series, and I want to put these series on Netflix or TBS, CBS, like whatever network will hire me. But I didn't go to college. I didn't go to film school. So I just had to learn how the industry worked on my own. And I more or less figured, okay, why don't I do this? I will create a series. I will post it, build an audience, and that'll prove my concept, prove that I have something that can be packaged and sold and that people want to see and care about. And from there, that'll make pitching to a network that much easier and more likely for me to actually get a foot in the door. Even if I don't get my own show, I've definitely proven that I know how to write, I know how to manage a team, etc., etc. So I came up with the idea for Colorblind because initially these series where there's a mom and a dad and they have 4 kids and each one is a different race.
Okay.
But that just kind of felt too heavy-handed. It's like, no, there's too much going on there and there's no way you could have a setup like this and just not make it one big race joke. And I didn't want to do that because to me, racial humor just feels kind of lazy.
Yeah.
So I got with my brother and my sister's baby daddy at the time, and we smoked like 4 blunts back to back of OG Kush. and I just had an epiphany, just like, that's it. That's it. I'll make it a white mom and her 2 kids and a black dad and his 2 kids, and that'll be perfect. There's nothing like that on TV. That's it. And I immediately went back in the house, started drawing designs, coming up with names, and contacting some artist friends that I had made online from some other communities that I'm involved with, and said, hey, I need you to draw this right now. Draw this. I explained it all to him. I downloaded The Sims 4 and made, the characters and gave it to him. There's your references. And I got that first piece of art and it was like, wow, it's perfect. And I got to work right away.
That is incredible. I love how that's going to lead into what was going to be the next question I have of how even Colorblind came to be and such more. I love how there's that good linear thing more or less of like what started off as you being an entertainer at the end of the, at the start of it all. but still having that love for like animation and comics and stuff like that, leading into like you wanting to make this thing a legit thing and actually having a physical like property that you can run and own and be like, hey, this is mine. Like, this is my project.
Yeah, this is like my intellectual property, and I made so many lives, I made many people smile. And I love animation, man. I feel like animation is the best way to tell a story because there's no limitations.
Absolutely. No, trust me. As someone that's talked to a lot of animators on this podcast, I cannot help but agree with that sentiment at the end of the day. But now that leaves one last person to tell us their story more or less a little bit more. FDC, what got you interested, or what not interested? When did it for you go from just something you love and appreciated when it comes to art to a passion of wanting to make it your career? Like, when did you know that this was how I wanted to spend my life?
Well, let's see. I can go on, say a number of things, but I think the major point was like I said, I loved all the old Disney movies, the old 2D, Robin Hood, uh, see the Rescuers, the Sword and the Stone, you name it, even the Black Cauldron.
Yes.
I love stories. I love characters that just make people smile, that they're just memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm sorry.
No, I just said I was just agreeing.
Sorry, my cats.
Oh, the cats.
It's all good. It's all good.
I was like, Forrest, hello. I was like, oh, it's the damn cat.
She rammed the door. Anyway, then my folks took me to Disney World when I was in junior high.
Oh, okay.
I got to see. This was before the hurricane destroyed a large part of it, but I got to see the inner parts of how it was made. All the drawings, the sketches for Aladdin, all that magic that went into the Lion King. It was such an inspirational moment in my earlier life, and that's when I said, I want to write stories. I want to create stories. I want to make people smile. That was the major magic. And since then, I've been trying to, find my way as an animator, as an artist, as a comic book artist.
Right.
I even enjoyed making pinups that were based off of 30s, 40s, and 50s World War art and everything. And people asked me to or actually paid me to draw T-shirts, draw products, and everything. That just made it bigger.
Yeah,
I can make money off of this. I can make a business out of this. And and I went to college for animation.
Okay.
And at that part, I was just devouring everything, trying to learn everything 2D. They were trying to force 3D on me at the time because 3D was becoming bigger and bigger in theaters and in games.
I assume this was around the time where Pixar had really become like the staple when it comes to 3D animation, and everyone was trying to copy them at the end of the day.
Yeah, and people try to force that. Then I thought, I'm going to be the rebel. I'm going to just be the 2D animator. I'm going to learn 3D animation just to make y'all happy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a 2D animator, and I'm going to keep the traditional, the old love that everyone enjoyed when they're a child, what parents are raising their children on. That's what I want to do. Make the stories that people would enjoy, to make memorable characters. That was my major goal in life. And that's pretty much my story. I mean, a little too dramatic there, but I'm sorry.
No,
really similar. It's similar with me too, man. At the end of the day, I just wanted to make comics and make people. I just want to make the world. I want to make people smile. Like, God damn it, laugh at something, feel good. Like, laughter is the best medicine. And the cartoons that we grew up watching, like, people don't understand that was a large part of who we were.
Exactly. No, I was gonna say, like, look, I very similar to you. Like, I went to college not for animation, but for filmmaking and such. Mass media was the overarching term that we had at the college that I went to or whatnot. But I went to school for filmmaking and such. I've always been a person that loves to like tell a story at the end of the day. And like, so to hear that love is something that you carried with you, especially as you went to college and really just took in everything that you could and be the rebel to tell the story the way that you want to tell it in 2D animation. Like that I have nothing but respect for you for what you're doing at the end of the day.
It's, I still hold to it, even though I'm not to rant or belittle anyone. Considering today, a lot of the major studios are trying to do cost-cutting stuff like AI and add their stuff in. But what I'm really happy about, and what I'm happy that Dee and Kairi and so many others are noticing, is that indie animation is becoming such a huge part now.
Absolutely.
And it's becoming the it's like the new golden age. I think we can find what brought back that love and that care that we put into our storytelling and in our art.
I mean,
because it's a piece of us, you know, it comes from our mind. So AI, on the other hand, could never ever.
Exactly. I'm gonna share the sentiment real quickly, but I feel like the age of indie animation that we are today, we have that same kind of almost nostalgia that we had for like the animation that we had talked about growing up in like the early 2000s, watching a Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or Animax or all that kind of stuff. Because like, even though it was clearly made for a larger audience, like we felt a bit of ourselves like as we were watching these silly, ridiculous stuff. And now with indie animation, with us having the access and the ability to be able to do that, and then some, like it gives us that same feeling and gives this like age of indie animation that we're in kind of a new sentimental feeling that we haven't experienced in years. That's why I'm with you when I say like I'm excited for what indie animation is able to provide for the world.
Make people smile, make people happy, bring memorable characters, tell stories that even the mainstream won't touch.
Exactly.
That's what needs to happen.
One thing I do like about being in the indie animation space, what Forrest just said, is that we have more freedom to write, things that if you're syndicated, you can't put on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You kind of had to watch your P's and Q's a large number of times when you're writing now, or try to be proper, I guess.
Or PC, But I feel like I've found the right way to do that. You just kind of can't dump it on your audience. You kind of got to take it slow, and then just kind of seep them into the reality that the series they're watching is, quote unquote, M for mature.
Yeah, that too.
Absolutely. And I feel like you guys are providing a good example of that, especially with the incredible web comic that you guys have been providing for the audience that we can finally talk about right now, because I've been waiting to talk about this bad boy. You three are... No. Trust me. I say I can't wait for it, but obviously I wanted to make sure I told your guys a story beforehand or whatnot. And trust me, fantastic stories. Trust me, if I didn't want to talk about it, I would just jump straight to the cartoon, straight to the webcomic and said, fuck all the other shit. But regardless, I cannot think of a better way for us to really talk about the incredible, again, like I said before, fun, wholesome, slice of life webcomic that you guys at Neptoon Comics are in charge of, Colorblind.
Yeah. Can we spam golf clap?
Golf clap.
Fanfare.
Golf clap.
I'm sorry, I don't have a blowhorn. Where's the blowhorn? We got a blowhorn.
Do we?
Just
a quick question, Post. Do we have a soundboard? Okay,
there
we
go.
It's like I have a personal soundboard, so.
Oh yeah, use that. Please use it. Use it. It adds so much character to this whole thing.
I'm sorry. What?
Use the soundboard.
Music time. No, I'm joking. Anyways, no. But seriously, when it comes to Colorblind, now we talked about it a little bit when you're talking about the inspiration to it earlier, Kairi. But for those who have no idea what in the world we're even talking about in the first place, and I apologize for the audience, why have you not taken the time to read this in the first place? How would you describe Colorblind for those that have not had the opportunity to take a chance and read it?
Well, first, I'd actually like to let Forrest and Des answer that question before I do, because as the creator, I don't want to set the precedent for how, like as people who've worked with me for years on this project as well, I like for them to answer that.
Well, in that case, FDC, whichever one of you guys want to take the floor, it's all yours.
On that. Dee, can you?
I'll let you answer.
Oh, come on, guys. I need a. Oh man, Gary, can you take over? I'm still trying to get my thoughts.
Okay. So I won't answer the question, but I will say, just off real. When I first initially had this idea for Colorblind, and this was after I'd hit the blunt,
right,
and the OG Kush was in my mind. The thing was, it was wanting to take a family show, because that's always kind of been my niche when it comes to writing. Family. I was on my Fast and Furious shit. So
family.
But I like the idea of it being blended because, you have Dorcas and you had her childhood and who she grew up to be. Then you had Addison, his childhood, and the person he grew up to be. And they had very similar fallouts. See, Addison got in college, of course he was a basketball superstar. And this was simply because Addison was just actually very, very tall.
Right.
Addison's 6 foot, he's like almost 6'8". So he didn't have a choice. He was pushed into basketball. Yeah, for the most part. And he also had the physique. He was very tall. He was slender, but muscular. And he just looked like a player. So, of course, the coaches were like, hey, man, look, you're in America, Jack. You are a Black American man, and you were blessed with all this height and this physique, and you have the ability to dribble that ball up and down the court. Do you want to be successful or not? This right here is God giving you pretty much everything you need to go out there and be successful. Right. And Addison more or less just said, okay, fine, whatever, I'll do it. He played. It was like, okay, yeah, this is fun. This is camaraderie with, I got brothers on the court too, and then yeah, I like it. It keeps me in shape. And he ended up getting a full ride scholarship on that on the strength of his basketball performance. His strength on the court was dunking. Nobody could dunk better than Addison. And in school, he was the tallest one there. So, duh. And then in college, he got a girl. He impregnated a girl during his senior year of college, and that's how Cheyenne was born. Mm-hmm. And then that same girl, tried to have a relationship with her, but she didn't want to be locked down by motherhood because she was still, in her 20s. Right. And like, no, I want to be free. So unfortunately, yeah, she ended up ditching Addison to let him be a single father and just kind of stepped away from JoJo and Cheyenne, her 2 children, and just never went back. In Dorcas's case, she had pretty much a crazier childhood than Addison. Addison, more or less, he never met his biological father, but he did grow up with a stepdad. And his mother, kept him in line. Addison didn't get in a lot of trouble. He was smart. Yes, mom, no mom. Yes, ma'am, no ma'am. Yes, I did the dishes. Yes, my homework's done. Yes, I cleaned my room. Yes, I brushed my teeth. Addison was on his P's and Q's. Mm-hmm. Dorcas, on the other hand, was the middle child out of 5 kids.
Oh, wow.
She has a twin. Yeah, she has a twin, but she's dead center. She's not the oldest girl. She's not the youngest girl. She's not the oldest boy. She's not the youngest boy. So Dorcas was kind of an afterthought from her mother. Now, her dad, who she has a great relationship with, mm-hmm. He more or less, because marriages kind of ran this way traditionally, it's like he was the one who was always working to support his family, so he wasn't really there.
Right.
And the mother kind of, didn't, I'm not going to say that she didn't care for Dorcas, but she was an afterthought. She wanted to prime all of her children to pretty much, fulfill their roles as, the oldest boy. You're going to go out there and, what do you want to do? You're going to go fight in the war. You're going to join the army and you're going to be a hero. You're going to be a police officer. Stella's the oldest girl. And she's like, because you're very straight-laced and you have a lot of, discipline within you. And I like that. And you're going to go out there and do this. What do you want to do, Dalvin? I want to work with computers, and you're going to do that, son. You are a very intelligent young boy. And then you have the youngest one. What do you want to do? I want to be a fashion designer. You're going to be a fashion designer, Nora. And then there's Dorcas. Like, but mom, you didn't ask me what I wanted to do, Dorcas. Go do the dishes.
Jeez.
So yeah, she was just kind of like the afterthought in the household. So she never really had that good relationship with her mother. Dorcas was always compared to her siblings. Dorcas was always kind of put down, and Dorcas just does not have a good relationship with her mother. I have to explore this more in the comic because I don't like to show. I mean, I don't like to tell. I like to show.
Right.
So like, yeah, but just know between us here in the podcast, yeah, that relationship is not good. So anyway, what ended up happening, Dorcas was actually sent to a all girls academy when she was about 13 years old. And because of this, she didn't have a teenage boyfriend. That's something she really felt she missed out on. So she ended up going to this all girls academy all throughout high school and her 8th grade year as well. And when she finally got to college, I mean, she pretty much more or less wasn't allowed to date throughout high school. So when she got to college, all it really took was for a guy to say, "Wow, I think you're pretty." Really, you do? Yeah, want to be my girlfriend? I mean, sure. And then Lily was born. And then a few years later, Peyton was born. And the cool thing is, yeah, she does have these 2 children with the same guy. And that guy was pretty much the only one that Dorcas had ever been with. But the real world, it came down like a ton of bricks upon her. And she really outgrew her, like, young adult naivety around the time Lily was, 3 years old. Because that's when her ex-baby daddy showed up one day and he's like, "Hey, I want to try to do this right. My friends, my dad, and everyone is telling me, no, you got this girl pregnant, man. It's time to be a dad and step up to the responsibility." So he and Dorcas got a place together out in Arizona where she went to college. And Dorcas had already graduated. She had her degree. She had a degree in culinary arts, and then she had an undergrad degree in education. But her dream job was to, have her own restaurant. So she was working in this kitchen, and he was, doing still finishing his degree for, engineering. And what ended up happening was he was like, "You know what? No, I can't do this. This whole dad thing, this whole, like, they fought a lot, they argued a lot, and they didn't really love each other." So he ended up ditching her again. And then Dorcas couldn't afford the rent on her own and was facing eviction and ended up having to move back to California to live with her dad. Now, by this time, the youngest daughter, by this time, I should say Dorcas's parents were actually divorced. They had split up. And this is something I still have to explore within the comic, but they were divorced. So she moved back in with her dad, and she's still like, 23 or 24 years old, and she has a daughter. Then she lives with her dad for about 2 years, and Nora is also Dorcas's younger sister. She's in like, high school at this point and also living with her dad because the mom at this point is not even living in the same state. Once they divorced, she just kind of went on and did her own thing. So after that, Dorcas is living with her dad, struggling to find, as a single mother and, struggling to find a job. So her dad is more or less taking care of her. He's like, "Don't worry, you can just stay with me until you find your feet. I have a car you can drive, and you don't have to worry. You're my daughter. I'm not going to leave you out there just because you're 25, 23, 24 now doesn't mean like I'm just going to let you out there on your own, So she's at the store one day doing some grocery shopping after having fallen into a depression. But I need to say, before all that happens, that jerk decided one more time, "No, I want to do this right, Dorcas." But in reality, he was just horny. So he comes out to California, he gets with Dorcas, and he gets a hotel. They go out, they have a nice few days together, and then they end up making love. And then Dorcas gets pregnant again. And a few weeks after that, she informs him, "Hey, look, I'm pregnant again, and this is your baby. What are we going to do about this? Because now I'm having 2 of your kids." And he's like panicking. So he goes ghost for a few months. And by this point, when he finally comes back, Dorcas is about to pop. So he comes back and he does the sleaziest thing ever. He knocks on the door where of Dorcas's dad's house, and he has this really big dollhouse, brand new. It's a Barbie Dream Fund house, and it costs like about $300. He gives that to Lily. Yep, he gives that to Lily, his little girl, his daughter, and says, "Lily, this is for you because I remember you said you always wanted one of these. This is my gift to you." And Lily's all excited, like, "Thank you, Daddy. Thank you so much." Giving him hugs, giving him kisses. And he's like, "This is for you. Dad is going to go away for a little while." He's like, "But what do you mean you're going to go away? I just wanted you to have this first. And remember, no matter what happens, I'm always going to be your dad." And then he goes to his car, he drives away, and they never see or hear from him again.
Fuck.
I like to think he's dead.
So that's what he did. he still wanted his daughter to have good memories of him because he knew I'm about to abandon my child. So just like that, Dorcas was, left in single motherhood all over again. And this time it was very clear he wasn't coming back.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yep. So a few months or so after that, that was when she went on that one fateful day to the grocery store and ended up meeting Addison.
Yep.
And her prayers were answered.
Of course, she still had a kid.
Yeah, but Addison was in the same situation.
Still had a kid. 2 kids.
Yeah, Addison had 2 kids and Dorcas had 2 kids. And here's what happened. I actually wrote this comic, but Lily was being a brat in the store because keep in mind, Dorcas had no money. So she was actually shopping with her dad's debit card. And credit card. So, it's like, Mommy, I want this sugary cereal. And it's like, no, we just have to get the essentials. Put that back. So she's being a brat and she throws it a few aisles over and then she hears, ow. And then she starts panicking like, oh my God, no. So, she snatches Lily over, runs over to that aisle. And she's like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry about my daughter. And she sees Addison and she's like, oh my God, he's beautiful. He sees her. It's like, oh my God, she's beautiful. And it's like, hey, hi. And then it's a given, but they had a little conversation. Hi. Yeah. Yep. It's a given, but they had conversation and found out, wow, we kind of dealt with the same thing. We were both jilted. How many kids do you have? 2? How many do you have? 2? Yeah. I have a girl and a boy. No way, me too. Like, I have one on the way, but he's going to be a boy. I already chose a name for him. And they dated and, they kind of just fell in love pretty quickly. Addison was actually there when Peyton was born. And a few months after that, he proposed to her.
Yeah.
And they ended up married.
And that's just the origin. That's just the first little bit more than anything else. That's not including all the antics that we've been able to see since that first fateful evening first fateful day at the grocery store more than anything else.
Yep.
Which I do want to note, like, just at least one little thing. I'm surprised that, like, the first thing is, oh my God, I'm so in love with you. And not, good Lord, that 3-year-old was able to toss that cereal box like over a couple aisles. Like, we should sign her up for sports or something.
Oh yeah,
Lily has super spreads. We never talk about it.
Yeah, Lily. It's been shown time and time again that Lily has power. She is 25% Viltrumite.
Oh goodness. I mean, obviously Kairi set the stage or whatnot, but Dee or FDC, do you guys want to add anything to that when it comes to what exactly Colorblind is about for those who have no idea what we're even talking about in the first place?
Well, there's a character I'd like to discuss that I had a hand in creating.
Go for it.
Extremely popular.
Oh, yes.
So, Cheyenne's best friend is Kenzie, or Mackenzie, whose last name I can't pronounce, Revenici.
Okay.
Yes, perfect.
And she's lovely, but it's her older sister I want to talk about. Now, Kenzie and her sister Blythe are essentially orphans. Their parents died, and they're being raised by their grandparents. But Blythe is essentially a second mother to Kenzie and to Peyton. If you read the comics, you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
But I actually had a pretty big hand in creating Blythe. She's a has-been washed-up actress. She was on a Nickelodeon-esque TV show, similar to like something like Riverdale, except, with like supernatural stuff happening.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, she played like a demon chick who was a cheerleader. I don't really know. It was called Hellbound High.
Yeah.
And
a brief outline for Hellbound High is that it's basically about it doesn't have any supernatural elements in the show, but it's about a girl who is in high school and like think Mean Girls, but with more gruesome undertones.
Okay.
Delinquent and drama, basically.
Yeah. And that show was very, very successful. She even actually spawned a music career out of her time on that show.
Which, when you think about it, is Riverdale, which has some gruesome parts and drama.
Yeah.
And weird elements that are like supernatural or whatnot that no one can really explain.
Yep.
Yes. Whether the show was supernatural or not is up in the air, I'll say. But in one of the artworks that we did, in one of the artworks we did, there's actually a poster for Hellbound High, and it shows that like Blythe's character had like a red color scheme, Whereas her rival, who at this point doesn't have a name, had a blue color scheme, so they had like a very contrasting sort of motif. And that's where I came up with the second poster, where one of them is depicted as a demon and one of them is depicted as an angel. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But Blythe has been chasing the high of her career for years, and that led to the movie Neptune's Daughter, which was moderately successful. Except Blythe never talks about it.
Yep.
No one knows why. Apparently there was some like disagreement on the set involving one of her co-stars. But yeah, Blythe never talks about it. There was something I wanted to do with Blythe off the heels of Neptune's Daughter that never came to pass. Do you remember Happy Campers? Like I had that idea for that series that she was going to direct.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Basically, Blythe and Peyton was gonna audition and get the part. So he and even though she didn't want him to get the part because she didn't want to have to take him with her, but yeah, he got the part, and they would drive up to Oregon to film. And essentially, the story was about a summer camp that was crumbling. There were 4 counselors total. The camp scoutmaster was an idiot, and the lifeguard was a mermaid, but no one ever pointed it out. She just kind of was.
There's a lot going on with that setup. A lot. It's like, so the mermaid is the carrot with and the other one is a golem, and the ogre is the one married to the princess. Like,
that seems like an average Nickelodeon live action show, to be fair.
Yeah, true that.
The point, it was kind of riffing on shows like that series that had the ghosts living in the house that was on Nickelodeon for a while that I don't really remember so much. And,
what was it called? The Hendersons, the Haunted Hendersons, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was riffing on shows like that and like Wizards of Waverly Place.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially like supernatural stuff in like plain sight.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, Blythe is a character that's very near and dear to me because I helped to create her and all her crazy antics.
Yeah. I can imagine, especially with kind of a unique character to where both how much she contrasts with like the main family with the Summerfields, but also like how much of a part of the Summerfields she kind of seems to be at the end of the day, being the babysitter and such, among other things.
Yeah, and the former celebrity, you know, I actually had this, well, not even former, you know, because Blythe is still famous, but I would describe her fame level as like, say, C-list.
Yeah.
Like if you go to the grocery store and you see Josh Peck, you're like, oh my God, you're the dude from Drake and Josh. Oh my God, yeah, man, that's cool. That's awesome. You're excited, but he's hardly a superstar.
I'll say
that's who Blythe is. Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you see like a niche internet micro celebrity like myself, you're gonna go to that person at the supermarket and be like, "Hey, excuse me, I need to get some mayonnaise right here. Just move out of the way, please."
Yeah, exactly. But Blythe has a little bit more respect than that. No offense.
No. I made the joke for a reason.
I mean, she does have a super fan that follows her around.
Yep,
Skylar. Hell on Earth, Skylar Cruz. Which, by the way, I want to say subsequently, I actually, you know, because I didn't ask him permission to use his character. I just wrote this comic because I had the idea and I was like, you know what? Sometimes you just got to say fuck it. So I said fuck it. I posted that comic and then I informed him and he was actually cool with it. He liked it. He said, hey, man, I like it. I'm actually going to come by tomorrow. I mean, when you post it, I'm going to leave a like.
There
and he actually did like it. So it's like, oh, thank God. I was so scared.
Did he comment on it?
I still had an idea to create a super fan for Rivenichi that was worse than Hell on Earth's character.
Oh no!
I mean, I'm not talking about
who was that girl?
I'm talking about crazy funny worse.
Like I kidnapped her so I could peel her skin and super glue it to mine, and I could be her. Like that's it.
We've already got a serial killer though. Remember JoJo's girlfriend?
No,
Casey. Casey.
Yeah, she's the only character in Colorblind with a body count, and I was begging because I created this little girl character a few years ago called Angie, who essentially just exists to give Peyton a hard time, but she's actually really nice. I actually wanted her to show down against Casey because I wanted to see what would happen if like unstoppable evil and unstoppable chaos came together, but that never happened.
Yeah, I mean it could still materialize someday, but you know, Yeah, Casey is the crazy one. She's the one who's like, no, JoJo Summerfield is mine. And I actually had this idea where this rage starts to direct itself towards, because, she's just jealous of any and all women who look at JoJo. And eventually she starts to eyeball Dorcas.
Oh, no.
And be like,
and his sisters.
Like there's an episode where it's an idea. This doesn't exist, but I had an episode idea where they're on a field trip, or not even that. They could just be at lunch. It's like, JoJo, I made you lunch today. It's all your favorite foods. It's this, and then I steamed this for like 14 seconds, and then I overturned it and cooked it 4 seconds on each side, so it has that slight crispy crunch just like you like it. And then I have this right here, which is gluten-free, because I know while you don't have an issue with gluten, I don't want you to get sick anytime soon. And then I have your favorite Arizona iced tea here. I also put a peach slice into it because I know you like peaches, but I wanted it to be naturally infused, and you can drink it that way. And JoJo's like, blink, blink. It's okay. My mom made me a sandwich. Your mom made you a sandwich? But what about what I made? I did a lot of hard work for you, JoJo. Where's this mom of yours? I'd like to talk to her.
To be fair, he wants to be kind of a butt. She did a lot of work. You may as well take it.
Yeah,
exactly. But I mean, come on, like he's still a 13-year-old boy. So it's like he's not thinking on that level. He's just like, oh, thanks, Casey, but no thanks. My mom got me covered.
Exactly.
That's it. JoJo, I mean, and it's not just that he's a 13-year-old boy, because I hate when I say that. I do that so other people can kind of understand, but specifically, he's JoJo.
Yeah.
JoJo. Yeah, he's JoJo. And JoJo
evil.
We do know he's just a little thoughtless.
He's not the smart one. Cheyenne got the brains.
There you go.
No. Lily got the brains, but she understands that brains, when you're pretty, doesn't mean shit. Cheyenne got the naivety and the parents' favor. Peyton got the chaos. JoJo is kind of the he's just, I don't want to say
nice
nondescript. He's not nondescript because he's into music and he does have, he's like the annoying little brother who always touches your stuff.
Right. Yep.
But he's the one who's like too smart for his own good.
There you go.
But still plagued by his inexperience, naivety, because he's still a kid. So he's that one who will argue with, a CEO about, but if you just did this, your profits would go up all this way. It's like, well, we thought about that 35 years ago, and we actually determined that it's not the way to move. But it's like, but that was then. This is now. There's like, yeah, he's always got an answer for every damn thing.
Yeah.
That's who JoJo is. That like, bro, shut up, live life, make mistakes, learn, and grow organically. I know you think that you know every fucking thing, but kid, you don't. We were all just like you at one point. Mm-hmm. Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
That's JoJo.
I would genuinely love to see JoJo play The Sims, because I think that his house would be ridiculously weirdly managed.
Probably.
He'd treat that thing he'd treat it more like a restaurant than a home.
Oh my word, he should play Dine Out, and he should like run a restaurant with his Sims.
There you go.
If he could get the pack to work. I hear it notoriously doesn't work. I can see him complaining about that too. Like, I booked a table an hour ago. Where is everyone?
But that's JoJo. Then it's complemented by, because the house, they all have chemistry with each other. So you've also got Lily and Cheyenne and Peyton. And then the side characters, you got Hannah, Kinsey, Blythe, Marlize, Swing June. Who else, Forrest? Who else am I missing?
Oh, man.
Fun fact, there might be more than one. There might be more than one Swing June. Now, this is a theory I have, but I think that there's a Swing June factory.
No, there's not. I swear. There is no Swing June factory.
It's one of the fun facts about cartoons. You can have one character do all these jobs, and still you turn once, and there's a waitress named Swing June. Turn till again, and you see a hostess named Swing June. It sounds like super speed, or she has a clone,
or omnipotence.
Exactly.
I swear.
See, what I like to think is that there's not a Swing June factory, but Swing June is deified. Okay. So like,
I don't know.
You crash your car. I mean, you hit a flat tire on the side of the road. 250 miles away from Hyena Beach. By the way, Hyena Beach is the city that Colorblind is set in.
Okay.
250 miles away from Hyena Beach. You call your insurance company, man, I'm on the side of the road, I got a flat tire. It's okay, we're dispatching a truck. They say they'll be there in about right now. You look to the left. There's a swing June. Bail out the tow truck. I heard you had a flat tire.
You know that old gag that has like cartoon characters carrying like a ladder or a huge 2x4?
Yep.
And like, Ed and Eddie did it. Like, you see the guy in front, and then the guy in the back is the same guy.
Yep.
That's Slim June.
Well,
I swear.
Jesus. Yeah. No, I say like hearing all these ideas or whatnot, and like what you guys have been able to put out, like the things that you guys are talking about, like, hey, you know, maybe I have this idea for the future, I have this and that, and up, down, left, right, all that kind of stuff. It does lead me to a question I did want to ask in general, because like, especially when it comes to, I mean, Kairi, you know, if it was just Kairi making this thing or whatnot, I can understand, you know, the whole entire, like how the process could potentially go down. But like, there is a full on team, and we don't even have every single member of the Neptoons Comics team here or whatnot. So I am curious, how exactly it was the process like for you guys to go from like concept of an idea that you want to put out with Colorblind to finished web comic or concept that you get to put out there into the world. Like, what exactly is the process like for a team like yours?
Well, first, let me say shout out to Antonio and Ty and Lame and Nocturnius, even though he was only with us very briefly. And who am I forgetting?
And Star.
Clary.
Why not Star and Clary? Yeah, because these are all the artists who had a hand in helping us create comics. So first and foremost, props to them. They are all very talented, very good at what they do, and we love them very much.
Absolutely,
I love them very much. And as far as your question, creating a comic, the ideas typically start with me. I'm the one who'll come up with the story, and man, stories can start with anything. I've had comics that I've written that were based off of songs, ones that were based off of a single joke. For example, I have this 2-part comic. It's called The Tree Comic. That's our behind the scenes title for it.
Okay.
But it's where Peyton gets stuck in a tree, and one day Hannah goes to the park to do some yoga, and she hears someone shout her name. She looks left, nothing. She looks right, nothing. She looks up, and there's Peyton, and he's like 50 something feet up in a tree, and he's stuck and he can't get down.
Right.
He asks Hannah to help her. I mean, he's like, to help him. He's like, Hannah, help me, I'm stuck. She calls the fire department. He's like, no, hang it up. I'll get in so much trouble. And she's like, okay, I'll just call your parents. She's like, okay, I just said this. I'll get in trouble. You can't call the parents. You got to climb up this tree and help me. And you got to climb up here and carry me back down to the ground. And Hannah's like, well, you shit out of luck, brother. And he's like, he tells her, and like, this is the joke that I wrote. He says, oh, come on, just do what you did in Africa whenever your pet baboon escaped.
That is hilarious because we actually had a pet monkey.
At this point, I need to clarify to everyone listening, Des is South African.
Right. Des is from, like, they are currently recording from South Africa as we speak right now.
Yes, she is. She's in South Africa. And as mentioned earlier, that Hannah is the character who is from Africa as well. She's specifically, because I don't like to say from Africa, because it's a whole continent.
Right.
She's from Zimbabwe. She's on the African continent where she was born.
So basically what we do is a pipeline. Kairi comes up with the idea. Then one of our artists draws a concept on the pages and tries to get the rough idea. And we go back and forth between the writer, the concept artist, until we have the perfect format. Then we have an inker ink the entire drawings or cleans it up, then inks it. And then it goes to Dee, our amazing colorist. She really makes everything pop.
Really?
To the art.
No.
Go of course.
And then afterwards, we choose a victim through either a voodoo ritual or something like that, who will be our dialogue and editor for the to write. And then if they ever make a mistake, we belittle them and curse their name and destroy them. Then we go through it again. And
I made it very clear that's never allowed to be me.
And we also actually, around this time when we decided, you know, that maybe the belittling was a little too harsh, so we implemented our judicial paddling.
Oh,
So what you'll do is stand in the middle of the town square and you are to receive 14 whacks per mistake. So naturally, you know, that just really did a wonder for editing and revising it. It pretty much became like they were writing perfectly. Like their work would mimic that of Oxford.
Except for Kairi, because he enjoys the paddling.
That's not true.
It's not true, mommy. It's not true. No, mommy, no.
Hey, that's some fuck shit.
Oh goodness. I have to ask this as well, hearing like obviously the fun that you have amongst team members or whatnot, but I guess Kairi, you probably be the best one to answer this question. Whenever you started Colorblind and Neptoon Comics or whatnot, was it always your intention to have such a team like this, especially one filled with as amazing artists as you have talking in this call right now?
I mean, yeah, I did. I wanted to be surrounded by artists who were better than me. I understood that, yes, I want to make an animated series.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I want to make comics, but I know that I had my limitations as an artist. I couldn't draw the way that I wished I could draw or dreamed of illustrating. So the thing is, go and network with people who have those abilities and allow them to elevate what it is that we all do. So that way we deliver at the end of the day something that's near perfect for our audience. Because at the end of the day, it's not about your ego and it's not about you receiving all this praise and adulation. It's like, no, I want to make something good for them.
Right. Right. No, absolutely. I can only imagine. I especially seeing the results of it more than anything else with such fun stories that are wonderfully written, beautifully illustrated or whatnot, like to see kind of the fun that you guys are able to have like as a group or whatnot, like, you know, FDC and D, I'm curious for you guys as well, like ever since you guys have been able to join the team of Neptoons Comics, like has it been a weird, fun, unique experience for you guys to be able to bring this story to life?
It has been. I've tried in the past to start up a group or more or less to be part of a group, and it tried to work out, but it fell apart. I've had multiple stories where it was like this, but me and Kairi met in the airport when we were working as bartenders, and I showed him some of my work when he found out that I was an artist and an animator, and he fell in love when he saw me draw his.
You drew Addison. You drew Addison like freaking out, and then Dorcas, and like just a couple of sketches because he had his sketchbook at work too, and I used to do that at my last job. And I was like, "Oh, bro, you draw? You're an artist?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I showed him Colorblind, and he sketched up some things, and I saw just how good he was at capturing emotion. And this is my opinion, dude. Animators versus illustrators. When an illustrator animates, it's just always better. When an illustrator illustrates, it's good. But animators who understand movement and emotion and how you convey that through movement, their illustrations look better. You can feel the fear versus just an illustrator. And it's not my intention to step on any toes here, but like if I were to draw someone being afraid, it's gonna look better if an animator did it. They just get it, you know. I like to describe it as like when you're screaming, the physical act of screaming, like scream for 3 seconds. They'll draw that point in your screaming where you can tell that the person is screaming. You know, like they just convey it so well. That's all I can say. And when I saw that Forrest did that, it's like, bro, he got skills for real.
Yeah,
Forrest, let's work together.
At first, I wasn't sure. You know, like I said, I've had some ups and downs with groups.
Right.
I mean, I try to even make a game with a group.
Oh, wow.
And it kind of backstabbed me. So I was, and so that was fun. But I looked at Kairi's comic, and you know, researching animation and illustration and everything. I learned what demographics are gonna catch people's visually from the comic, and it had all these points that we're checking pretty clearly. There's the dad who looked athletic and handsome, so we have the DILF.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have a mother who had that nerdy attractiveness and a big butt like a Kardashian. So we have the MILF. So that's perfect. That gets that demographic.
There you go.
No BBL, by the way. No BBL. That's all natural.
Then we had the two daughters that were attractive. One was shy, but she had that rage feel when her shampoo was taken and conditioner.
Yep.
And then we have Lily that acted like a what was it? A Valley Girl, and that was perfect. Yeah. So we have two that were perfect for the like a Marie sort of syndrome. Like Marie from Edda and Eddie.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many people were in love with Marie. Admit.
Yeah. I would describe Lily like, imagine if a Valley Girl had an IQ of 135.
That's scary.
Think of a character.
And then
she's
we
basically
have...
Brandy.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're supposed to put the tungsten carbide into the benzene chloromorphoropate so as not to cause a corrosive reaction. It's literally child's play. Why are you fucking up?
And then we had Peyton and JoJo, the perfect duo that I saw a Boondocks.
Like the Wayans brothers.
Riley in there. That I thought, oh man, this is perfect. We can make this happen. And then there was Blythe. These babysitter
hot,
and
young, like early 20s, hot and not and well written, like she's not just this gooner insert, she actually has a personality and is well developed and layered. So
and she has no interest in love interests. Like
at all.
No thanks.
The Gooners, that's an important demographic for any series.
Blythe is happily single. She has a dog.
There you go.
But the audience will be wondering, oh my God, will the husband have an affair with the babysitter? Is that going to happen? I need to watch this comic to make sure it happens.
He sees her as his daughter, though.
Yeah,
but the thing is, the audience, there's always something going in their head. Even if it's true, there's always like a wonder, what if?
And you can't stop that no matter what you do. You cannot stop that.
No,
it's like trying to stop an avalanche. It's like trying to stop an avalanche with a whistle and a hand. Like, stop. It's like,
that's not the person they should be worried about the husband having an affair with.
Yeah.
Ooh,
and that's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, it's not going to happen, but there's always going to be ships. There's always going to be fantasies.
I will say this: I have never seen anybody ship Addison with Blythe ever. Like I've never heard it, and I have answered.
They not.
Yeah, because I've answered every DM that we've ever gotten, and nobody ever said anything about Blythe and Addison.
Well, now you're
I don't even think that crossed their minds.
Well, now that you put that out,
Blythe is one of my OCs.
But it's mostly because I will say this though: a few people in the DMs, and you can actually even see these comments on some of the pages. People kind of interpret Blythe as a bisexual, but more leaning towards lesbian than straight. Which I kind of understand just by looking at her. She seems like she'd be into women. But I'm telling you, as a creator of Colorblind, no, Blythe is not into women. She is a heterosexual woman. But she's just happily single.
I wrote her as Adro Ace.
Yeah, that too. Because that's not her alignment. And I didn't want people to feel like that was just because she's single. She's just single by choice right now. She just doesn't want to be in a relationship, and that's it. Yeah. Eventually, of course she will. But right now, at this point in her life, no, she just wants to be alone in her big $40 million mansion. And
when
with
she's
Jibs and Kinsey.
She'll get with someone. When she's 53, and only then will she get with someone. So says the person who designed her.
That's cutting it
close. What were you trying to say?
That's not cutting it close. That's cutting it after the door is closed.
Exactly. She's perfectly happy.
I mean, to be
It's like,
fair,
all right, guys, I'm ready. Like, ready? I got grandkids.
I mean, I would say, look, to be
No,
fair,
there's like a crowd of 50-something-year-old men waiting outside.
I remember watching.
I guess if she's in her 50s too, that's not creepy.
Exactly.
No, they're all 50.
Yeah.
And they're all like silver foxes. And they're actually they actually have established careers and stuff.
I mean, I
She's
will
like,
also
you see,
say,
this is when you should start taking.
to be fair,
Yeah,
look,
sorry.
no, you're good. I'll say, look, to be fair, if I also was living in a $40 million mansion, romance would not be the first thing on my mind. All right. Like, I think I'd be nice and comfortable just living in my own little, like, again, mansion with a dog or whatnot and all the stuff that I could probably want in a moment's notice or whatnot. Like, I'm not complaining about, you know, anything like that. Like, I think I can live. I think I'll be fine.
What people don't understand is Blythe knows that she has options and that time is not running out for her.
Exactly.
Like, she's rich, she's successful, she's hot, she's attractive. People who kind of end up in relationships sometimes do so because they're desperate and don't know when or if they'll ever lock one down. So when the opportunity presents itself, they fuck around and try to marry that person within a month.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, relax. Okay. Yeah. No, this is not the only person in your life you're going to date. Relax.
This is literally not the last person on earth.
Exactly. But Blythe understands that. So therefore, she's like, no, I'm single. I could go out right now and have a boyfriend before noon. Yeah. So, yeah.
We sometimes throw ideas into the mix. I try to go for something a more mature than I think Kairi wants. But there was one where this is based on this conversation. Blythe realizes that the only man in her life is Payton. And Payton comes in there. He's a delinquent. He causes no short of trouble for Blythe.
Right.
And it dawns on her that, wait a minute, is Payton the only man in my life? Is that my future?
Oh, no.
And then that's when Kinsey enters in and says, no, Payton's your lesson.
She has these horrifying realizations that Payton's going to be torturing her way into her silver years, and she's in horror mode in the corner, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
No,
I think it's mostly like the reason that Blythe spends a lot of time with Payton is because she actually, even though she ended up in acting and everything, ideally say her parents never died. She would have she wanted to go into child development and she wanted to have a daycare. Like, she loves children. She's very good with kids. And she actually, even when she was working on that TV show and working with her music career, she would babysit Payton all the time. And most of the time, it wasn't even necessary. She's like, hey, I'm going to the studio. Can I bring Payton? Hey, I'm going to be on set today. Can I bring Payton? Hey, I'm going to go to the beach and just have ice cream. Can I bring Payton? She loves Payton. Payton's like her baby. You know, and most teenagers, you know, when they get their first babysitting gig, you actually see them as your own kid. It's like, you're not my kid, but you're my kid, you know? And that's the relationship that Blythe has with Payton. She almost kind of, yeah, and now, and for people wondering, it's not that she doesn't have that bond with JoJo as well. JoJo is just the type to oppose that. He's like, no, I'm not a little kid. I don't need a babysitter. And Blythe is more or less like, okay, suit yourself, but if you want to come, you're more than welcome to. But JoJo is out to prove something. You know, like, I'm not a baby.
There you go.
It's like, okay,
I'm gonna get him in so much trouble one day.
Wait, he stole
a car.
Yeah, he did steal a car. Like,
oh my word, the butt kicking he received for that.
Yep.
The what?
Well earned.
Yep. And then
butt kicking.
Yep. Like, we actually wrote that comic. Addison gave him that belt. He wasn't playing. He's like, so you like stealing cars? I bet.
Normally, I'm against that, but for that situation, he almost died.
Yeah. Well,
But he was lucky. But like, he did get arrested. But the officers were hella cool because they didn't file charges on him, and the officer was more or less like, well, you're a kid driving a car, so I can't just pretend I didn't see that. So yeah, your mom's gonna have to come and get you. We are gonna have to hold the car, and legally we can't just take the car without impounding it. So they are gonna have to get the car out the impound, and then I guess your sister could drive it back home. But hey, man, don't do anything like this again. He's like, I swear, officer, I won't. Also, could you put me in protective custody because I don't want to have to face my debt.
It was either his dad or they could have left him alone with Lily. I feel like that would have been worse.
Yeah, then they would have had a homicide on their hands.
Well, I like with all this that we're bringing up or whatnot, like especially with like some of the personal connections, the interweaving relations that we have with like all these characters. I mean, especially again at the core of it being a blended family or whatnot. One thing that I wanted to ask a lot earlier when it comes to Colorblind or whatnot is kind of how personal of a story this kind of feels at the end of the day. Like, look, I'll be honest with saying I am a person that's part of a blended family as well. Not in the extreme sense of colorblind. Unfortunately, it's all vanilla for me. But you know, my parents got divorced. My dad married someone else that had a previous kid in a previous relationship. So like seeing kind of the antics, even though they're a little bit more extreme with the California aspect of it, the dealing with the kid star and all that, you know, kind of stuff or whatnot. Like I've felt kind of a special connection when it comes to Colorblind as I read it, because in fact that I've been, you know, feeling I've had similar situations or similar dynamics when it comes to my siblings and such. So I'm wondering, you know, for Kairi as well as for Dee and FDC, how personal of a story is Colorblind to you guys when it comes to the stories that you tell and how you put it out there?
Very. I mean, Colorblind filled a lot of holes in my heart because growing up, I wasn't actually raised by either one of my parents. I grew up with my single grandmother.
Okay.
And I did have, you know, 3 siblings, and I do actually have 4 total. One of my siblings I didn't meet until I was 12, but, you know, that's neither here nor there.
Mm-hmm.
But Colorblind did feel, you know, like having a mom and a dad is something that I never really got to experience. So putting, like, you know, JoJo and Lily, Cheyenne, and Peyton in that situation where they almost had to go through that. Right. But they got insanely lucky because not only did they get the stepdad and the stepmom, they actually turned out to be a damn good stepmom and stepdad. The ones who actually loved them and treated them like their own and approached the, you know, newfound family dynamic with, you know, no, those other 2 children aren't any less my kids than the ones I have here. I'm married to their mother. I'm married to their father. And I'm going to treat this kid like they are my own because, well, damn it, as long as we're together, they are my own. And their outlook is, you know, Addison and Dorcas feel, God forbid, if one or the other dies the day after, I'm still going to be dad and mom to all 4 of these kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's just, I guess it was the answer to the thing that I wish I always had growing up. It was a life that I always wanted and never got. So by the time I was, you know, 22 years old when I first launched this series, like, okay, childhood is over, but the heart was still longing for that. So I found, you know, a lot of solace inside of what I wrote for Colorblind.
Absolutely. And for Dee and FDC as well, like, you know, this is at the core of it, Kairi's story, but like how personal of a story is it for you guys being able to help bring this story to life?
Let's see. My family is very large, but the thing is, it's also blended. In a way, if I had to say it, we're probably closer to our friends that adopted us into their families than we are with our blood relatives.
Right.
Yeah. So, seeing how how the parents got together, they're saying that they were all from 2 different worlds, 2 different classes, blah blah blah, you name it, and they came together. They brought their kids, and they meshed so well. They love each other. They're each other's best friends. They're always got each other's backs, and that kind of that was the spark that hit me. Being adopted into another family.
Mm-hmm.
And they just love me and treating me like their own is something you don't expect or really consider till later in life. And I was really surprised how much that meant to me.
Absolutely.
Oh, Forrest, I had no idea.
And Dee, what about you?
Honestly, family isn't a very big deal to me. Like, my family isn't very close.
Okay.
But
Same here. But
yeah. What I like is JoJo and Peyton and their little antics kind of remind me of shows like Kids Next Door, which I grew up with, and
also true.
it's nostalgia for me. I am more invested in the antics of the kids and their friends and all that, and the growing up side of things, because it reminds me of the shows that I used to watch as a child. I'm also invested in the mom and dad and their crazy antics a lot more than I am with the whole parenting child sort of situation, if that makes sense. I really like the dynamic between Kenzie and Blythe, though. I think they are my favorite family unit in the series, just because of how silly and just genuinely sweet it is. Like, you'd expect an ex-actress or a working actress to be snobby and stuck up and mean, but Blythe is none of those things. She's protective, she's friendly, and she's really mature and motherly, and that's not something you'd think of her when you first saw this tatted up girl in her crop top and longboard. You think, oh, she'll kick my ass if I come too close. But yeah,
There's more to the characters than meets the eye.
Absolutely.
Pretty much.
Absolutely. You would think so that I'm sorry, go on this. D, sorry.
It's fine. What I'm saying is I'm more interested in the characters as their own people than as a unit.
Absolutely.
And I'm very invested in Cheyenne, particularly when it comes to the main family, because Cheyenne is very immature. I don't know if you've noticed, but Cheyenne essentially behaves like a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Mentally.
Or more like a 5-year-old, or mama's girl.
Yep.
She's in like that toddler headspace.
I have a psychological reason for each of the characters. Well, a psychological profile that explains, why the characters are how they are. Rather than just make them like a gag, I actually explored the why. And, like, for example, Lily may come across bitchy, but Lily has abandonment issues because even though she has Addison, Lily, unlike most of the other kids, she actually knew her biological father.
Right.
She knew both her biological parents at the same time. And actually, like, there is no, I barely knew my dad. He just, no, she knew him, knew his name, knew what he looked like, had spent time with him, and then he just leaves her.
Mm-hmm.
So that did affect her on a, because how the hell would it not?
Yeah.
So there was a period where she kind of grew up feeling like he left because of me. He left because of mom. Mom did something to chase him away. No, that's not right, Lily. You can't blame mom for that. He left because he was a loser. But if he was a loser, why did he buy me that Barbie doll house? And see, there's a whole lot of confusing feelings about that going on in Lily's mind.
Right.
And on top of that, she is a teenage girl.
Yeah.
So you can just imagine, the hormones, the emotion, the moodiness, just the changes going on in your mind. So that really helps you understand she's not a bitch. She's not a jerk, bro, or she's not this, bitchy girl for the sake of being a bitchy girl. That girl has actually been through some things.
Mm-hmm.
She's a mess.
She kind of, but she is stabilized by the fact that she has Addison, she has her family, she has her brother, she has her mom. And it's normal for teenage girls to kind of have this animosity towards their parents anyway. So, but I just wanted to bring reasoning to hers, but in Cheyenne's case, she may come across as really naive and sweet, but that's because Cheyenne is actually a very loving person. And this lovingness, this kindness, it kind of acts as a protective shield to the outside world. She doesn't have the experiences that Lily had because unlike, Lily, Cheyenne barely knew her mother. She was like 2 years old and barely nonverbal, and her mother was never really around, even when she was there, so to speak. So when she left, it was like, okay, I didn't even really notice that she was gone. And so as far as she knows, Dorcas is mom.
Right.
And Cheyenne just happens to be a mama's girl, and she
Cheyenne
likes to be with her parents. Huh?
Cheyenne hasn't lost her innocence, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah, she hasn't lost her innocence yet. Even though she's 15, she has not lost her innocence, and she still loves mommy. She still loves daddy, and loves to be with them and be around them. She likes to go like cuddle up with Dorcas all the time. Like she is, yeah, she has her innocence.
Well, I feel ashamed. I took a different look at that part.
And
I
just what
thought,
look did you take? Hold on, let me grab my chair.
uh,
Get the glasses
I thought
on.
Cheyenne. I honestly thought Cheyenne knew her real mother left, and it caused a traumatic event that she didn't really show. But when Dorcas came into her life, she latched on like an abandoned kitten to an adopted mama cat, basically. That's what really developed as her character. Is she was just a mama's girl or looking for a mother's love kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I see that. Yeah, my brain is kind of fried right now because I worked all week, so I'm really trying here, Wes.
I'm right there
Don't
with
worry,
you,
we
man.
all did.
Though I want to say this, even though there's a lot of inner drama and family drama, as well as the drama that would happen with growing up and everything. I did want to try and corrupt the series. I'm admitting this now to the audience, to y'all, and to the creator. I wanted to corrupt it and turn it into an Adult Swim cartoon, just to add some abstract and absurdness into their daily lives.
Though I think that would be an easier thing to do with Yuki and Topanga. We can just blow that one from the jump. Do it from the jump.
I think if y'all ever seen the TV series Mom, where it goes into mom and her daughter trying to deal with each other in a comical way, but they also insert real life drama into the series. And it kind of brings down the crowd. Then suddenly, mom does something stupid like she slept with a banker just so she could get a better loan, that kind of thing, and everybody's laughing. Oh, that's just so her. That kind of bullshit.
Right. Goodness. Yeah. Think
what a setup.
Right. But like thinking, especially with like all these different, again, relationships that we have, all the different characters, all different dynamics or whatnot, like it's led to a lot of incredible moments that you guys have been able to illustrate throughout the web comics and stuff. So I'm curious for each one of you, and I'm going to go down the list for this one. Do you have a particular favorite moment or a particular favorite comic of Colorblind that you guys have been able to have a hand in up to this point? And like I said, I'm going down the list. So Dee, would you like to start?
Oh, mine is very obvious. Okay, so many years ago, back when I think it was the second year I started working on the comics, so my art wasn't quite up to par yet. I had the idea for a rival for Peyton because Peyton had like a love interest at the time, but I wasn't a big fan of her because like she was kind of boring and she was 2 years older than him, and I was like, no. So I came up with this girl named Angie, who is also from a blended family, but she's from like a mass adopted family. Like her mom is a lesbian. Her moms are lesbians, and they have 3 adoptive children. Her and like an older brother and sister. And Angie is a British kid. Like she's adopted from an English orphanage, so she has an accent. And she is essentially like the female Peyton in a sense. Basically, they meet one another and like they immediately hate each other. And it's a 2-part comic. It starts with her standing in a parking space so that her mom can pull into that space before Dorcas can.
Right.
And then the moms get into a fight. Yeah. Cheyenne tries to throw her in the trash, like literally tries to throw this kid in the garbage can. And her mom shows up and essentially kicks Cheyenne's butt. Well, tries to kick Cheyenne's butt. And no, she throws Cheyenne in the trash. To be fair, it's kind of warranted.
Yeah.
Head first.
And Yeah, then the moms get into a screaming match, and then like, there's this part where JoJo and Peyton are in the car, and JoJo's like saying something like, "Oh, we gotta do something," and then Peyton's like, "Yeah," then he just starts filming it.
Yep.
And yeah, the moms get into this huge fight, and then they like go park somewhere else. Then they're shopping, and Dorcas is still pissed, and Cheyenne takes them away. And Dorcas bumps into the mother. Her name's Adriana. She's Adriana. She's Hispanic. Anyway, so Dorcas bumps into Adriana, and they talk. Meanwhile, Peyton goes to his Aunt Sherry's bakery and tries to snag a bonbon. And the little girl, Angie, she shows up and she's like, "Hey, give me that." And then they get into a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like this epic roast fest that's actually pretty funny.
Right.
And then we cut to Adriana and Dorcas, who are having coffee together, and then this cop that deadass looks like Max Black from Two Broke Girls, I based her on Kat Dennings, shows up and she's like, "Oh, yeah, your kids are in jail. Or your kids are in mall jail." And she shows them mugshots. And Dorcas just looks so horrified.
They decimated they decimated a little bakery by fighting each other, and we have them in mall security. You need to come and sign the release form.
I remember seeing that, like the two parts on that one. I'm like, good Lord Jesus.
Yeah, that escalated quickly.
That escalated quickly.
That nigga Angie don't play.
They need to meet up again.
We will. I mean, it's just like right now, I'm actually talking to another artist, asking if he wants to become the full-time artist, so we don't obviously, lose everything that we've worked so hard to build. But yeah, I need another artist.
That's
I haven't
fair.
even been writing. The last that I did was like these sketches for this comic that I'm working on called Yeezy Glazing, which is going to be like the first Luke and Lily comic. So
okay,
I'm excited to get that one out.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Sorry, can I just say there's another comic I like. It's only 2 panels, but it was a Halloween comic back in 2022 where Lily's like, I'm gonna be Marceline the Vampire Queen, and then Luke puts on a Princess Bubblegum wig, and he's like, "Say less."
Yeah. He's a good boyfriend because he put on a dress for his girl. Like,
yep.
Don't worry, I'll be the yin to your yang.
There are so many outfits he could have picked that didn't have a dress, to be fair.
Exactly, but he was like, "Nope, I don't care. Nothing is too much of an ass for my girl."
There you go.
I mean, like, if he wanted to be Bubblegum, he could have been Safari Bubblegum.
Fair. FDC, what about you? What has been your favorite moment or favorite comics that you've been able to have a hand in this wonderful comic?
Man, there's a few, but I'll bring up this one.
Okay.
It's the one where Cheyenne, who is one of my favorite characters, Cheyenne wakes up and she's scared, and she goes to her parents' room and asks if she can if she could sleep with them. Like a little girl or a child would when they're scared of the dark or they have a bad nightmare. That whole moment. And even though she's a teenager, the parents say, "Okay, come in." And she says, "Wait just a sec." And she goes back to her room and she brings in this mountain of plushies. Yes. And it's just nothing but horror of plushness coming down. And you just see in the last panel, the parents are just like, what do we do wrong with this girl after they're being crushed by rainbow monkeys and Pokemon and all that? And she just
and don't forget Freddy. Don't forget Fredbear. Was it Fredbear?
Freddy Fazbear.
Golden Freddy. Yeah, Golden Freddy.
Yep.
But
I love Cheyenne's plushies. They're like the cameo factory.
Yeah, no joke.
Literally. And what cameos have we done? We did Jake the Dog. We did how many Rainbow Monkeys? I don't even know. We did
the Rainbow Monkey Halloween where Cheyenne had her first period. And she was acting like she was possessed.
by The Exorcist or whatnot.
Exactly.
Yep.
Wait, I can name the plushies. I can name the plushies from that one comic where like Dorcas is kissing everyone goodnight. She has Yuboa from Yume Nikki. She has Anya from Mouthwashing. She has Fapta from Made in Abyss. She has Sparky from Atomic Betty. She has No Face from Spirited Away, a Charmander, a yellow rainbow monkey, and a weird ass looking shark thing.
Yeah. Isn't it
And that's from
Shark
memory.
or something?
I don't remember. I know it had a funny face.
There's an idea I
this is from
wanted to do where one of her plushies gets murdered or hurt real badly. She goes into like a panic mode. Her eyes are watering and everything. Her sister or her brothers come to console her, tell her it's okay. But then she turns into Rage number 3 from Kids Next Door and starts accusing each of them and putting them under a dark room with that bright light in their face, trying to interrogate them like they're at a police station. Did you murder my No Face? Did you murder Golden Fazbear? Did you murder my Rainbow Monkey?
Did you murder her? Where were you? Where were you?
Idea. So what happens is
yeah.
Idea. So what happens is it starts with the parents and they're cooking dinner together. Then there's a loud banging knock at the door. And then when they open it, there's a police officer there. He has a gun and he immediately orders them to the ground. And then other officers come in and they say that there's been a murder here. We got the call. There was a murder report.
Oh, no.
And then here comes Cheyenne. Yes, officers, it was him. Look what he did to my plushie.
Or accusing the entire family of murdering her plushies.
And then it ends with Cheyenne getting her first ever butt whooping.
It was from Lily.
It was like, it was an accident. All I did was accidentally put it in the washing machine. The thing is like fucking dripping wet, and then the seams are busted because you're not supposed to put this thing in the washing machine. And then they end up having to go to court, and Cheyenne is like, okay, $4,000 fine.
It's like
they get a $4,000 fine.
I'm just imagining now, like the cop is coming or what. I was like, we heard there was a murder, and then, like again, Cheyenne comes in with like the torn apart plushie or whatnot. Cop just goes to the radio. Yeah, we got $4.99. It's just a plushie from a kid's toy. Yeah, it's a false alarm. Don't send the hostage unit.
$4.99. They already have an enforcement code for it.
I just made up some bullshit number.
Right. And it was like, wait, and Lily could say, wait, you already have an enforcement code for plushie destroying? And then he turns slowly and says, I've been on the force 20 years. I've seen some shit.
Oh, goodness. No, honestly,
and then at the end of the comic, they're like, Cheyenne, are you at? And it's like, Cheyenne, we need to talk. And then that's it.
And that's the moment where Cheyenne starts to grow up. No,
Yep. By the next comic, she's like, guys, plushies are actually kind of dumb.
I'm now in the Funko Pops.
And then JoJo's like, what did you do with my sister? He runs into the room holding Amy Rose's hammer. Where did you get that? E-hammer. I bought it from the Hammer Man.
No, we can go with a classic cartoon that I hate to quote for this one, but where'd you get that? Internet.
Inheritance. I inherited the internet.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, goodness. All right, Kairi, I got to ask you, as the creator of the series, what is your personal favorite moment or favorite comic since you started this bad boy?
My favorite, or do you want my top 3?
Favorite, number 1.
Okay. I would probably have to say the comic that we wrote where JoJo and Peyton buy a bottle of bourbon whiskey.
Yes.
And they often drink it.
That was good.
They were so stupid. What did they think was going to happen?
To be fair, that was going to be my I was going to say mine, and that's my personal favorite one as well.
Because dude, just when I had the idea for that, I'm not even going to go into the ideas. It's just like the execution of that comic, how Blythe was like, look, I'm just gonna throw money at this problem. Here's $100. Go entertain yourselves. And it came back to bite her in one of the worst possible ways.
Yep.
He thought
Like,
she overestimated these two's brains.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you give two preteen boys $100. Like, what the hell do you think they're? You think they're not gonna get in trouble?
Right.
What do you think they're gonna do? Put it in stocks and bonds? I mean, what the fuck were you thinking, Blythe?
It would be hilarious if they actually did that.
And then they came back, Blythe, we just upped 200% on our investment.
I told you investing in GameStop was a good idea.
Hey, that reminds me, you remember when that shit happened on Robinhood in 2021? Man, my stock went up. I made like $113 and I'd only put in like 20. Oh man, I should have went all in. I'm still sad about that.
I can imagine. No, I was gonna say it's obviously that part of it, but also like the end of it where Blythe throws away the alcohol and then the homeless man comes out of the dumpster like, "Hey, can't you read?" Says, "Do not, no, don't do this." And wait a minute, why are you throwing away the Proverbs 31:7?
Did you know that was Dave Chappelle? That was his character, Tyrone Biggums.
I did not realize that was Tyrone Biggums.
That was Tyrone Biggums, man.
Sorry, let me do it. Do you not read this? It says, "Do not do this."
He's like, "Ain't you can't read?
Ain't you can't read?
Ain't you can't read?" And then somebody else commented, "Ain't you can't form a sentence?" It's like, bro, he's a crackhead. No, he can't.
Goodness. Oh man, like it's so great to see not just like obviously the fun moments you guys have been able to produce with Colorblind, but just like I can tell there's a lot of love and passion you guys have, not just with the comic, but the team that you've been able to have together or whatnot. It does lead me to kind of be curious as well when it comes to what you have been able to put out there. Like I can tell there's a lot of ideas that you guys want to get out there. There's a lot of concepts that you guys want to get the time to actually tell the world and showcase more about what you guys have with the fantastic family of the Summerfields or whatnot.
For sure.
What do you guys at least want to hope to do with Neptoons and with Colorblind as you keep going down this path? Like, what's the ultimate end goal when it comes to Colorblind when you want to put it out there into the world?
By the way, Kairi, I think your mic messed up. What I'm hoping for is to pipeline the project in a way where we could just get out quicker and quicker, especially for the animations, which I'm learning to. Another thing I'm learning. Traditional takes a long time, so I'm looking into rigging as a way to make it quicker and to get the funny out faster. But we're hoping to just generate stories that not only are cute and funny, but also push maturity. And I'm really hoping for us to really talk about Zilla as like who the pet lizard. I want her to become
golden
Snoopy or the golden tiger striped iguana, the ultra rare type.
That was a gift to him actually, because his parents said, if you get a good report card, we'll buy you whatever you want. They're thinking he's going to ask for a PlayStation or something. He's like, I want this. It's like, Peyton, there's only 500 of them in the world. We have to fly all the way to Asia to get that damn thing. Well, then you better get your
Zilla is smarter than she lets on. And she has this inner narration talking about the family. I was
thinking of that too, Forrest, because something will happen and then Zilla could just have like this disembodied voice that's smothered in reverb say, I need to get out of here. But the voice is so unfitting. It could be like fucking Sigourney Weaver.
I was saying, no, if I may for a second, let me get, this isn't going to be reverb, this is going to be megaphone or whatnot, but What in this world did I get myself into? There is no reason why I need to be here. I need to find a way to get out as soon as possible. What's going on?
Exactly. Or like she's narrating like a zoologist would when watching animals talk or talk to each other, like seeing Lily and Cheyenne talking about hair or touching up each other. As we watch, the apes are picking ticks and fleas out of their hair, but in reality, all it is, I'm waiting for one of them to murder each other and to eat the leftovers.
As we see two teenage humanoids in the wild, I'm wondering when one of them's gonna snap. That's something I need to see. I need something to change up my life.
I suspect the first one to snap may be the teenage blonde.
The only one she likes is Peyton because he feeds her.
Such is what happens in the wild. There's always the strong eating the weak.
Yes. You know what we can do as an extra layer of comedy?
Yes, the nourishment maker has returned. I can now consume.
Exactly.
You know what would be funny? Like, as an extra layer of comedy, what if Zilla's narration, like this internal monologue, is not even in English? It's in some Asian language.
Oh.
Yeah, because she is from Asia. Have it subtitled or whatnot.
I was thinking maybe like in a French accent, like in SpongeBob, but I thought we'd get sued for that.
Like, remember Poppy from Proud Family?
Oh,
there you go. That's a good idea. That's a good mentality.
That's a way to put it.
But it's always so funny.
I have this image of Zilla watching JoJo and Peyton doing something. She's like, and here we have the idiots in their native habitat.
There you go.
Perfect. Yes.
You can draw that, Des. I would totally post that. I mean, I would totally post that.
But anyway, here
we have the young imbeciles proving why natural selection is a lie.
Perfect. Okay, we need to start recording this and writing this down, everyone.
Yeah.
Hey, have Mike will travel. I'm more than willing to help out.
You're perfect, man.
Oh, goodness. So obviously exploring that story, that's another thing I'd love to appreciate. But again, Kairi D, if you guys want to add in, what's the eventual hope, the eventual goal that you guys hope to see with Colorblind and with Neptoons Comics as a whole?
Well, my goal with Colorblind, I wanted that to be the one that gets our foot in the door as far as an actual developer.
Mm-hmm.
That we have this intellectual property and we have built it up to this level. And the big thing stopping us right now, look, man, we got jobs.
Yeah,
we are, working class artists. So we can't really, we got to pay bills and everything to, divert our focus, our full-time effort into it. So, just getting an investor or a studio to just give us that big old funding so that we can focus on getting this done.
Right.
And have, something that we can pitch to an actual network. They put it out there. We get that good ROI and we can support ourselves as we continue to churn this out. I have seasons worth of episodes, and then we can also sell comics on the side. And that's 2 streams of income. And then there's merchandise.
Absolutely.
3 streams of income. You have live streaming, 4 streams of income. So I already have a plan, but we just need that initial investment so we can get all the other balls rolling too.
Basically, it's like Spindle works with Vizmind or Goose works with Glitch Productions.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And on top of that, I have series other than Colorblind. We've got Yuki and Kapanga. We have Spotters. I've got I don't know if I should mention that one, so I'm not going to. Uh,
You tease.
we've got Yuki and Kapanga, and we've got Spotters. Spotters
Okay.
is my superhero series.
Okay.
Yuki and Kapanga is my dynamic female duo one, and I'm very excited to launch that one because I've done a lot of world building there too, and I think people will like that just as much as Colorblind.
Absolutely. I can only imagine at the end of the day. It'd be interesting to see you guys diversify your portfolio with some of the interesting concepts that you put out there into the world. And Dee, is there anything else you wanted? Oh, sorry, Dee, is there anything else you wanted to add on top of that when it comes to what you hope to do when it comes to Colorblind as well as Neptoons?
Honestly, I just want to see how far it goes.
Valid. That is a mood and a mentality at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, for this next question, if I may, what if we see potentially how far it can go, even above and beyond how far it can go? Because I want to give you three the dream scenario, if I may. Let's say I am Big Shot Mr. Moneybags. I come up to you guys. I'm like, look, Neptoons Comics as a whole, but everyone individually, we've seen what you've been able to produce, and we know there's something incredible here that you could put out there into the world. You just need a little extra boost, a little extra platform to get to that point. We have access to everyone and anyone in whatever industry possible, and more money than there should be possible. We probably should be giving it back to some of those animators as well. Make sure they have a good living wage, as well as, can afford insurance and all that kind of stuff. Hashtag Stand With Animation forever and always. We'll, that's part of it. We'll make that part of the deal no matter what, we promise. But right now we're focusing on you guys and you guys alone, whether it be separately or whether it be collectively as Neptoon Comics. What would be the dream, either, again, Neptoons Comics, or what would be the dream GrandmasterFDC, Dee Mercury, and Kairi Sneed project?
I would say we put our minds together on Spotters.
Okay.
But that's just my input. I mean, I would love to hear from the rest of the team and hear what they have to go.
Honestly, when it comes to like Neptune, I'm okay with just being along for the ride. I'm not really an idea person when it comes to this comic, and that's fine with me.
Okay. What about individually, if I may indulge? What would be the dream Dee Mercury project if you have the opportunity?
Golden Arrows, absolutely.
There you go. And FDC, do you have something you want to add with that, either individually or collectively?
Collectively, same with D. See how far this goes. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, hey, we put a lot of love into it, but it's always going to be hard to say goodbye. But I think we did so much good for it and made it something that people would love and remember.
Absolutely.
And I just want to, chime in and say, on another level, though, I understood from the jump that my dream ideally was, for us to get successful to a point where Forrest and Des are also in a position to where they can start doing their own projects. Like, they helped me make mine. And I finally got to that level where it's like, guys, I got there. So, I can run things now. I have another team, and like now they're working directly under me. Thank you guys so much. You guys are connected. You guys are in the industry. We all made it this far. So now, like, if they want to go and start, Des makes her comic developer. Forrest makes his animated studio or his animated series. We already got to that point where now we're no longer doing this work hoping to get there. We're already there. And at this point, it's just a matter of us doing that, groundwork. And boom, we're already where we need to be for it to get right to where we need it to go. Right. So it's like, if I could help these guys achieve their dreams too, hell yeah. They helped me with mine. I want to give right back to them.
Absolutely.
Aww. And individually, for me at least, like everyone, I'm sure you've animators and illustrators told you this before. They have so many stories, so many that probably will never happen, but for a number of my stories, just to kind of give an idea, while I love to do toony and cartoony stuff, I'm also a bit of a Jordan Peele. I like to work with horror and dark fantasy stuff and push the envelope on that part.
Okay.
It's a secret love. I would love to freak people out on.
I think we kind of get a bit of that, especially with kind of the cryptid vibe that you kind of more or less project yourself as at the end of the day.
Hell yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Sorry, my iPad died.
Oh, you're good. You're good. We're sorry. I didn't realize how long we had been recording. But sadly, we do gotta get down from the dream scenario. We have to get back to reality, and I'll have to ask the ever so generic question: where do you guys hope to see yourselves, say, 5 to 10 years from now?
Now working in a warehouse job.
Preach.
5 seasons worth of Colorblind
5 seasons
have been completed. You know it's big because there's a big market. Well, not let me even say market, but there's a whole lot of Rule 34 for it online, and that's how you know you really made it.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. Dee, how about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, I can't pretend that's not a metric.
No. That's certainly something. It's certainly a measurement.
Yep. And then we have, hey, we're working on a Colorblind movie. But me personally, though, I think it's either hit or miss when animated series decide to make a movie. So
yeah,
I don't know if I would want to go that route, but I do want to be big enough to at least be considered for one.
There you go. And then last but not least, Dee, 5 to 10 years from now, where do you hope to see yourself?
I just want to have a lot of money.
That's a good sign. It's a good thing to aspire for.
I'm with her on that.
Yeah.
I'm with her on that.
That's a good thing to aspire for.
Given.
Being a mercenary for a studio that wants to pay me to draw or animate for them, that would be nice.
There you go. That's a good mentality.
Exactly the same.
A mercenary. I like that title.
There you go.
Freelancer.
There you go. I mean, to be fair, mercenary is just a cooler title for a freelancer. Let's be honest with ourselves here.
And also, freelancing seems to be getting a lot of negativity lately.
Exactly. As we start,
it's like jobs. It's like middle management. Do the work of it, but I don't have to commit to you.
There you go.
Exactly.
You commit to me, bro. It's like, bitch, I'll burn your house down.
I want the AI bubble to pop.
Yes.
And I want everyone who said that art was dead and that they were gonna do nothing but AI. I want them all to realize that they were wrong. Is all I'm gonna say.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
AI slop socks.
There you go.
That's just an objective fact.
Yeah, exactly. As we start go on.
The fact that you have people paywalling their AI slop is like, bro.
Yeah. No, straight up. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous at the end of the day.
Yeah, people on Patreon who are like, hey, join me on Patreon. It helps support. Like, you need support to type shit. Come on, man.
As we start to wind down the interview, I just got one last question I want to ask you three. Obviously, you're each deeply entrenched in art in one form or fashion at this point. I mean, you guys would not be, again, 3 different time zones that we're recording this podcast talking about a web comic that you guys have come together to work on together at the end of the day if there was not that love for art in the first place. How important is art, not just for you, but for the world as a whole?
Art is the universal language, man. Art is timeless. Art is inspirational. Art is what makes us uniquely human. I think that's what our species has to offer the world, is our creativity. I mean, buildings, that's art. The way that cities are designed, that's art. The Mona Lisa, that's art.
Yeah.
Everything that we have ever put forth in this world is artistic expression in one way or another, even down to the food that we eat.
Absolutely. I would say
that right there is what helps you settle you settle a cultural identity from that, and you see what different groups have to offer this world artistically. And that right there is what makes life as a whole worth living at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are, you may not get rich. You may not make billions. You may never live in a mansion. You might never travel the world. You may not even end up marrying the woman or man of your dreams. But at least you got art.
True. I was going to say, yep. DFTC, you guys want to chime in as well?
Ladies first.
Well, Art is the thing that keeps me sane while I'm spiraling. Is all I'm gonna say.
We have that in common.
Is
I feel
all
like I said that just in a more poetic way.
I I like to draw the characters I grew up with in silly situations. I draw a lot of fan art. I think you'll notice if you look at my page, I don't have any OCs. I only draw fan art because I have a connection to those characters from when I was younger. And if I can put them in situations, I guess I'm a typical girl and I never got over playing dolls.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
In a way, from what Dee said and from what Kairi said, I agree on. Art is what keeps me grounded. Stories keep me grounded. Uh, it's what keeps my stress and anxiety down, keeps me grounded, keeps me alive, wanting to do more or uh, be a person. Uh, at my job, if it wasn't for the fact that I could think about art or think about stories I want to write or draw, then I'd probably be dead and be nothing but a robot just working in just a prison, basically. It's it it's the one of the most important things for me, and the fact that Dee just said that she fell in love with her characters, and and just makes her happy. That's what I want to do: create stories, create characters that people will be happy with, that they can enjoy, feel a part of, and that's what makes them keep going, wanting to be more. That's what art should be.
I think those are all wonderfully worded, if I do say so myself. That is all the questions I have for you three today. I've already showered you guys with Lord knows how much praise at this point, but I'm gonna shower you with a little bit more because it's my podcast. I do what the fuck I want. Look,
Hey, man, that's what you want.
Exactly.
Podcast is what you love.
And ever since Why Not first got in contact with me, which again, shout out to Why Not, who is not here because of personal matters or whatnot. Thank you so much for even introducing me to the comic, let alone these incredible people in the first place. I cannot tell you how much I instantly fell in love with it. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I am part of a blended family myself, so I understood like the dynamic that you're trying to put across, and I got a good bit of sentiment seeing where that family was coming from at the end of the day, and to see it being put into a webcomic form that is just so fun and so wholesome, so chaotic, so beautifully done that I couldn't help but give that love and support for it. Getting the chance to look into your guys' stuff as well, just on a, whether it be personal stuff or more of the comic or whatnot, like I couldn't help but just love the art that you guys are pushing out there at the end of the day. I couldn't get enough of it, and I could tell that there was a lot of love and passion you have for art, let alone Colorblind. Getting the chance to sit down with you three now and getting the chance to talk to you, really get that love and support for what you guys are doing with this, and seeing how far you want to go, knowing how much you guys have put into this thing, like it just leaves me excited at the end of the day, see what's going to be happening next when it comes to this, whether you keep up with the web comics and are able to put it out there on a more consistent basis, or whether you're able to get to the point where you can get this to be an animated show on Adult Swim or the Fox animation slot or whatnot. Like something like that would be perfect for what you guys are putting forth. And I am honestly excited to see how far you guys can go with this, and just know that I'm one of thousands at this point that love and appreciate what you do. Hopefully thousands more as they get the chance to see more of what you guys got to put forward. And I'm excited, whether it be with Neptoons or whether it be on your own accord. I'm excited to see what you guys are going to be doing as artists alone, because you three are extremely talented, extremely hilarious, wonderful people just to chat with in the first place. And I hope that today's episode, people got a good connection with that and get a better love and appreciation for what you guys are putting forward with Colorblind. The long and the short of it is, thank you guys so much for what you do. Thank you for taking the time, despite all the challenges that may persist otherwise when it comes to working on something like this. And keep up the incredible work, because you guys absolutely deserve all the love and support you guys have gotten to this point and then some.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ross.
It's a really rewarding. It's very rewarding, but it's also very fulfilling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, if people want to know why exactly I have been gushing about this for, I don't know, 2.5 hours, however long we've been recording up to this point or whatnot, go ahead and plug yourself for the people at home. Where can people find more about you and what you guys got going on when it comes to Colorblind or Neptoons or even your own stuff? Let's start top to bottom for this one. Save all the big plugs for last. Dee, where can people find more about you? What you got going on?
My Instagram is chaosgremlin95. That's where I post fan art and stuff. That's also where you can hit me up for commissions. I do commissions. I also have an Unveil account, but that's pretty new. I do have a Blue Sky that I barely use because no one ever follows me. That's about it.
Well, I'll be sure to follow you there. Don't worry about that.
Thanks.
FDC, where can people find more about you? What you got going on?
Well, I had many, but then now I have one. I used to have a DeviantArt. I used to have a Tumblr. I used to have a blog. I used to have all kinds of social media. I even had Twitter before it became X. So,
you mean you had Twitter before? You had Twitter before it just randomly disappeared, no reason.
Exactly. So right now I am focusing all my efforts on my Instagram, which is GrandmasterFDC, or you can hit me up on ArtStation, which is also under Grandmaster or Forrest Crocker. But yeah, all my work as well as hopefully future stories and animations will be there, and next hopefully YouTube.
There you go. That YouTube's gonna pop off more than anything else. I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah.
And Kairi, where can people find more about you and Neptoons and Colorblind and all that beautiful stuff? Where can we find more about it and share that love and support like we have today?
Right here. Well, we're not on Instagram, but the Instagram Neptoon Comics. That's it. Neptoon Comics. That's what I am on all social media, and by all I mean really just Instagram and TikTok. We also do have a webtoon page, and if you want to reach me or any of the other team members, you are more than welcome to visit those pages and click their socials. They are in the bio and on most of the posts, and that's where I can be reached.
There we go. And if you guys missed any links or anything like that, I got y'all covered. They'll be in the description below so people can scroll down, find it, and start enjoying this fantastically weird blended family that we've got here today. Do you guys have any final words before we sign off?
No.
Don't give up, folks.
Don't give up. And also thank you all so much for your support of Neptoon Comics. If you want to continue to support us, things are slow right now, not because we're giving up, only because we're quote unquote restructuring. That's it. That's all. So please.
It's one of those life happens. You can be patient with them. And then Dee, do you have any final words before we sign off?
Time is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Bye.
You know what?
Don't worry, she's just out of rehab.
With that, all I have left to say is for the people at home, if you can, please pay your artists.
Please. We're in a cardboard box already.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. If this is your first time listening, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. Genuinely, this was a chaotic conversation, but in the best way possible. Kairi, Dee, FDC, if you guys have gotten up to this point, thank you so much for taking the time to even do this in the first place. You guys are a true group, and I'm excited to see what you guys are going to be doing from this point forward because you got some fun ideas and just some fun energy more than anything else. It's the energy and the synergy that you guys got, as well as some other factors that has me on a bit of a creative swing. I'll be blunt. It's because I saw the Amazing Digital Circus, the last act in theaters. Don't worry, you do not need to click away from the video. I am not spoiling anything. I am smart enough to know not to do that. Good Lord. But I will say this. If you haven't had a chance to watch it yet in theaters, please watch it with friends more than anything else. Or wait for it to come out on YouTube and watch it with friends, because it is so well done. It genuinely is. Like, I cannot thank Gooseworks enough for the incredible work that she has put, like her and that team, everyone involved, the voice actors, the animators, the compositors, the writers, and Goose herself. They nailed that ending. They gave us the best possible ending that they could for that. And watching it as well as thinking back to some of the conversations I've had with guests, it's lit a fire under my ass. I'll be blunt. You know, I put this out on Blue Sky, but I'll put it out to you guys as well. Seeing just how well the storytelling was in that, and seeing the energy that I've been able to get from other creators that I've been able to bring on this podcast, I am putting it out there into the world in recording. Sometime within the next 5 to 10 years, I want to have my indie animation concept out there. For those who don't know, I have a concept that I tinkered with in college in a live action short called Shifted, where a random person just gets the ability to shapeshift out of nowhere and is learning to deal with the abilities, because it's not just simply dog becomes dog. That's not, it's a very complicated, well, I say complicated, but it's a very unique way of shapeshifting. And it's something that I think would be a fun idea to go down, especially in animation form, especially with like the transformation scenes, or just like, even then, just like single frame, just like you're human and then cactus for some reason. It's something I've tinkered with here and there, but I am putting it out there into the world that within the next 5 to 10 years, I want to make this a reality. So I need you guys to hold me to it more than anything else. I mean, I tell you guys all the time to let your creativity flow, to get your creativity out there. What kind of a hypocrite would I be if I didn't try to do the same? I sincerely hope that stuff like this podcast or some of the media that you guys consume out there gives you that same spark, that same fire that I'm currently feeling right now. Because if nothing else, kind of like I imagine some of you guys are interested in what I want to put out there into the world. I want to see what you guys are going to be putting out there into the world. Genuinely curious. I want to see that next amazing lightning in a bottle idea out there. So go out there and create something amazing.